Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Friday edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. Spencer Israel here with Mitch Hodge doing something a little bit different this morning. We got Joel, who has taken the day off. We got Dennis, who has also taken the day off. So you got myself and you got Mitch Hodge, and I've got a bunch of guests joining us. Actually, our first guest is already here. I'm going to bring him on in like 30 seconds here. But before we do that, everyone, drop us a like, hit subscribe, do all that good stuff on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, wherever you are watching this show. Markets are off to an okay start where the S&Ps are in the green, the NASDAQ is in the green, the Russell is in the green, Bitcoin's up, Ethereum's up, gold is not, but oil back at 70. So, all right, let's get this show started. Mitch, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
I want to get our first guest on here.
Definitely.
All right.
The guests are the most important thing, right?
All right, let's bring our guest here. Our first guest today is a former owner of a Quiznos sub shop turned semi-professional trader, Dennis Dick.
Are
you here?
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Hear me?
We hear you.
I'm on a tough Wi-Fi connection. I'm actually at an Airbnb enjoying my birthday, and the Wi-Fi is not great. Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me okay? Yes, I hear you.
I hear you guys well.
Okay. So good of you to join us from wherever you are in the
Southern
Yukon.
Ontario.
The Yukon, okay.
The Yukon.
Is it legal to be in Southern Ontario?
I don't know what's legal anymore here, Mitch. I might get arrested. They'll come in and say you can't rent Airbnbs. We're in lockdown here. Actually, today we're in the second stage of reopening. So we actually have hit the second stage. 4 stages, everything's open, but we just entered the second stage as of today for my birthday. So that was nice of them.
Wait,
but, outdoor patios open today. There's another.
Oh man. Wait, when we got Dennis back, just to clarify.
World, but
okay.
Yeah.
Dennis, just to clarify, is your birthday today or tomorrow?
It's today.
It's today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
The 44 putts are off the board, worthless as gold. So. Very nice.
You know what? That song is in the public domain, so I can play that.
Smash that like, guys. Smash the like for Dennis's birthday. Let's hit a record likes for Dennis today. Since he's not here, this is the day we hit the record. Let's go.
All right,
That's
Dennis.
They like it when I'm not there full time. So I'm only here for a few minutes.
Yes.
What's up? You guys tell me what's up. It's funny. When I go away and I try to trade, I always lose money. And I understand why, because I've got my setup, you're kind of in your zone. Here is like I'm literally, got an iPad and a cell phone, and it's kind of tough to do. Like usually I like to have my Benzinga Pro occupying one screen. I get Charles, squawking me the news as I'm trading. And then, I'm looking over, I've got, some trade ideas scanners. I've got my own proprietary scanners. I've got all that stuff set up on all my PCs, and I don't have any of that with me. So I kind of feel like I'm trading naked. No pun intended for naked. Not naked short. I'm trading without information, like without, all of my normal tools. And I seem to always lose money. So I decided today I'm just not going to trade at all.
Come
I'm
on.
trading from the Airbnb, even though I have Wi-Fi.
Wait, you're saying you don't have the Robinhood app on your phone? You can't just roll out of bed and swipe?
I do
have
have an interactive brokers app on my phone. I could definitely log in and trade if I wanted to, but I'm telling you, every time I try to do that without all of my systems, I usually lose money. So you gotta spend money to make money. I don't have all my systems with me, so I'm taking the day off officially. So tell me what's going on.
Well, okay. So what's going on is we're up this morning. The meme stocks have been relatively quiet here. I want to get your thoughts on yesterday, because were you off yesterday as well, or no?
No, I traded most of the day, and it was the meme stocks that were really getting hit. You saw, we basically saw not only the meme stocks but the short squeeze stocks as well. You can kind of pile those two together right now as that trade. That trade came off significantly yesterday. You saw obviously GameStop leading the charge down. I think it was 70 or 80 points. AMC coming off. All of the other ones moving in sympathy. I mean, Clover, goes from $27 a couple days ago. I believe it got down to 13. So basically cut in half in 24 hours. So, this is the way these things go. You had these ridiculous run-ups, and then, you're going to get ridiculous pullbacks all at the same time. If I'm trading any of these meme stocks, I'm probably looking, where were they trading 3-4 days ago? Where did it start from? Did they break out from a level? If you're looking at, potentially buying the dip, if they get back down to a level where they previously broke out from, to start the ridiculous run, like Clover, I think if it came back to 10, that gets interesting all of a sudden. It's at 13, 14, still some risk, but if you're playing it, you're biased to probably start to buy the dip when it's pulled back this far from those highs. Those are just short-term trades. But there's definitely the correlation, too, that we've been talking about. It's a loose correlation, but I don't think it's surprising that some of the mega caps had a really good day yesterday, where you see the meme stocks, the money is just rotating around, and some of that money that was flying into those meme stocks actually flew out of those meme stocks yesterday, was flying into Amazon, and it was flying into the Qs, and it's not surprising S&P actually makes a new high finally as the meme stocks pull back. I mean, again, that's a loose correlation, but we know it's there. Ryan Dietrich has shown the data that it's there. So, you can trade that. And, when the meme stocks start to really catch a bit and the Reddit stocks are all getting hot, it seems like the rest of the market loses. There's interest lost in some of the mega caps. So yesterday that interest was regained because people were losing money looking for a safe place. They thought Amazon was a safer place than the meme stocks yesterday.
Yep. I definitely did see that rotation into kind of some of those bigger. And it was tech mega. I saw also Google.
Yep. All of them. The big five.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, not Apple.
I think we're going to see a late effect in Apple and Tesla, and so that's what I'm going to be watching today. We'll talk a little bit more about those talks later, but.
Dennis, I want to also ask you, the strongest sector yesterday was healthcare, right? All these biotechs are ripping. The IBBs is did a whole, oops, that's not the IBB. There it is. IBB did a whole lot of nothing for a while, and it seems like it's trying to break out here. Or trying to get back.
It's lit up. Biogen has lit it up. And IBB, I think Biogen, if I'm just going from my memory, is only about 3%. But you had Lilly kicking up. You had a lot of other. You've all of a sudden is the market's looking and saying, is the FDA going to loosen up on requirements and give these pre-approvals, which is really what they did with the Biogen drug for obviously Alzheimer's. It was kind of like a pre-approval, and that's never been done before. Like I said, Adam Feuerstein was tweeting out, setting a precedent there. So then a lot of other companies and maybe investors are thinking they might start doing these, do some of these approvals just conditional, afterwards. So it's kind of it was a weird approval. Obviously, we know that they got to do another trial just to get the full approval. But if they're going to start doing stuff like that, that's bullish for the sector. And you're right. The IBB XBI has been quiet for a while here, and now we start to see the breakout. I think biotech could run for a while, and I would be a buyer of pullbacks on biotech stocks. I like the sector.
You know what we didn't talk about yesterday was you remember there was the AdCom committee in November that recommended not to approve the drug from Biogen. It was an 11-person committee, and they voted 10 to 1 don't approve it. 3 of those 10 have since resigned in protest.
Really?
I don't know if you heard that. 3 of the 10 members of the AdCom committee have resigned because they don't.
Well, it's very weird. They usually go with the panel. And to go against the panel was very surprising. I mean, this is why, the stock didn't have a price. I mean, I know it went up for 15 points for a day ahead of it. That's just speculation. Well, what if it gets approved? But we got the 150-point pop afterwards, telling you it wasn't, this was not expected. The stock doesn't go up 60% if the news is expected. So it was surprising. But again, the way that they did it was even more surprising, to do this almost like pre-approval before the trials are actually done. So I think it's bullish for the sector. I don't know, I'm not, a biotech analyst. I'm also, not in the pharmacy. I can't comment on whether it was good of them to do that or not. But I can tell you, as an investor in biotech stocks, it makes me more bullish some of these biotech companies.
All right, we'll let you go, Triple D. Keep your eye on video game stocks. Keep your eye on Microsoft. There's a big Sunday's a big day for Microsoft. It's their first presentation since they acquired Bethesda earlier this year or late last year. So keep your eye on Microsoft. Keep your eye on the E3 trade, the video game stocks. And yeah, we will talk to you. Well, I won't. I'm out Monday, but the rest of us will see you on Monday. And
I will be back on Monday here. Just gonna enjoy my weekend. Spend it with the family and the kids. So nice little weekend. Right. And everyone have a great trading day. I miss everybody at PreMarket Prep Benzinga. I miss the chat. So take care. Have a good trading day.
If you want to Venmo Dennis some money, his number is 248-797.
All right. See you, Spencer.
All right. See you, Triple D. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was our first guest of the day. Triple D, I did mention former Quiznos owner turned trader. We miss Dennis, but it is his birthday, so he's allowed to take the day off. Actually, 2 days off. The guy never takes days off, so he's allowed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got to give a shout out, guys. Give him some love. Let him know. Get those likes up. I only see 264. Let's get it up there. Let's get up to 500, then to 1,000. I mean, Dennis does this all for free, guys. I mean, he could just be focusing on his trades in the morning, probably making some more money, but instead he goes and spends the time with us every single morning to try to help us out. And that's really what he's trying to do. He's not necessarily just doing it. He's not an ego type of guy. So definitely, guys, smash the like, support Dennis.
Yeah, Alex goes, yeah, he's rich. He owns a lot of lumber. That's true, but I don't think he's going to put that to use. All right, air horn for Dennis.
All right. Let's get into some stocks.
Here was what was originally going to happen, right? Joel thought that I was going to be out today, and Joel was going to stay and do the show with Mitch because he thought I was out today. When I told him that I was not out today, he was like, "Oh, you're going to be there? All right, then I'm gone. I'm going up north."
Peace.
So Joel pieced out on us. He was like, "All right, Spencer's going to be there. Spencer and Mitch do the show. Dennis and I are out of here."
The young guns are acting like the educated here, working, building, and the old guns are out partying, man.
Yeah, the inmates are running the asylum today. This is going to be a weird show. This is not going to be a typical one, but hey, it is what it is, right? Give us a like. If you give us a dislike too, that whatever, it's fine. It is what it is. All right, let's talk.
Where those bulls at?
All right, Mitch, let's start with some earnings here, and let's just start with Chewy. Okay, I want to start there because Chewy is super volatile in the after-hour session. It is down a smidge, down about $1 from the close, and the numbers were okay, but they talked a little bit about supply chain problems. There's a labor shortage. Obviously, you've all heard about that. So anyway, the earnings per share beat. They made 9 cents per share last quarter versus a 3-cent loss estimate. Their sales beat basically in line, 2.14 versus $2.13 billion. Active customers, about 19.8 million, up 31% year over year. They gave us some sales guidance for the year and for the quarter. The Q2 sales guidance came in above estimates. The fiscal year sales guidance came in more or less in line. So like the numbers were fine, but like I said, the biggest takeaway was they talked about supply chain problems. They're sold out of some products and they are having a hard time because of that, and they can't hire people that they want to hire. So anyway, as I said, stock volatile, down about $1 here in the pre-market session. Mitch, your thoughts on Chewy?
Yeah, so it looks like we recovered from this kind of 66.81, or maybe you could say 67 support here. A nice little lift up, but now going to come into this kind of resistance that we're going to run into closer towards 84. 84 is going to be the level that I'd be looking at to kind of get into some resistance today. But it is looking nice. I mean, it has had a good amount of volume this morning, so it's already trading about 9,000 shares. If we look at the hourly, and you can see kind of how this support is holding in pre-market, and it's holding kind of that prior resistance. So this is the resistance. This is now the support. Let's see if that support holds into the open. So we're talking about 77.50. If I could see kind of that hold at the open, I would be looking at this one going into the open.
I'm wondering, and Chad, feel free to help me out on this. I haven't observed that much of a relationship between Chewy and GameStop. I would think that there would be some correlation there because they have the Ryan Cohen ties. I know Ryan Cohen is not he's not the CEO of Chewy anymore. He's just the founder of the company. But I would have thought that I would have assumed that there would have been some sort of correlation between Chewy and GameStop. We'll find out today because GameStop kept on going down yesterday after its report. Again,
big candle yesterday.
Right, big candle for GameStop. So let's just see how Chewy checks out. I'm curious to see that correlation. And don't worry, guys. I see tickers in chat. We will get to tickers. We got a lot coming here. We got Markus Heitkoetter is going to be on the show at 8:30. I hope to talk about Ride Lordstown Motors. We've got Jason Raznick joining us at 8:45 or so, and I've got my man Ryan Faloona, who is a trader extraordinaire, Benzinga Pro master, and he will be on at like 9:15. So we got a big one today. We got a lot of people coming on. I did reach out to Adam Feuerstein from Stat News, but he couldn't come on today, unfortunately. So we're trying to get him on the show next week. Yogi Bull, did Markus sell? I don't know. We're going to find out.
We definitely were going to find out.
Let's stick with the earnings theme and go to play here. Dave & Buster's.
Let's do it.
They also reported last night, and they made money. Dave & Buster's was profitable for the first time in a year, I think, probably, right?
It looks like one of those buy the rumors, sell the news kind of thing, though, right? Because I mean, look at that run up right before the earnings.
First time they're profitable since the last quarter of 2019, since Q4 2019, since the April report of last year. Congratulations to them. They made some money on the bottom line. Here are the numbers. Q1 EPS 40 cents per share versus an estimate of a 16-cent loss. Sales of $265 versus $257 million. Q2 sales guidance coming in well above the estimate. They guided a range of around 345 mil versus a $287 million estimate. So they're saying we're going to make more money next quarter or more revenue than the street thought. And hey, we're back to profitability, guys. We are making money here again. Dave & Buster's. How is the stock doing this morning? I looked, but I don't remember. It is.
Yeah, look at that hourly. It's holding pretty well. It even did like a nice dip yesterday, but man, look at that recovery that it did going into the close. So it's looking great. Big price point today, 47. It's at that 46.70. It's tried multiple times to hold 47 above it, and it has like some wicks up there. That's where I'd be paying attention to see the volume come in today. If you see some big volume step up there, could be the buyers taking control.
I want to know in chat, one, if you have gone or planning or would go to a Dave & Buster's since they reopened. Because I don't actually know, aside from Luke Jacoby, I don't know anyone who actually goes there. Or you go, you're a Dave & Buster's.
This guy.
All right.
I like gaming and having a little bit of fun, a little drinking. I used to go to this bar in Denver. It's called One Up. But that's like classic arcade games. Yeah. But I wouldn't mind a Dave & Buster's. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, reopening play.
I mean, there's one near me, and I went with Luke years ago. But
did you have a good time?
Oh, sure.
All right. So then, it's not something that you maybe go every weekend, but it's definitely what I like about it is that they have an ability to mix to adults too, right?
Yeah.
A lot of kids still go to Dave & Buster's, but adults also go to Dave & Buster's also.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's not like Chuck E. Cheese,
Chuck E. Cheese, they're not still around, right?
They are.
Are they really?
Yeah, they are, man.
Hey, man, I'm gonna look this up.
In the pandemic, you could deliver their pizza.
Wait a minute. I just Googled Chuck E. Cheese location. Holy cow. They are
Chuck E. Cheese, bro. Come on, bro.
Wait a minute.
All right. Let's not get stuck on the Chuck E. Cheese.
I told you guys this is going to be a different show, and I meant it. Hold on a second. All right, I'm in Detroit, Michigan.
This is what happens when you get Money Mitch on pre-market prep. You start looking at Chuck E. Cheese.
There's several of them near me.
Arcade bars. There you go. My people know about it. Barcade. I like it, Todd.
Yeah,
the barcades, bro. Those are the best.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. Oh man,
Chuck E. Cheese is for adults. Andrew says.
I haven't been to one in 25 years, but I will have to check one out maybe soon. All right, someone in chat asked about Snowflake. Why is Snowflake down? They had an investor day yesterday, and here, let me read you some headlines that came out of that. They gave some guidance. Basically, they gave some long-term product revenue guidance, like years out. Which they gave 2029 targets. Just think about that for a second. They gave estimates for 2029. Okay. They also talked about their margins. I guess the margin number was a little bit weaker than people thought, and from what I'm seeing from this analyst, there's still some concerns about this fact that the stock is a really high valuation, or the company is a really high valuation. So wait, is that Snowflake you got up there?
I get it up
All right, because I got my
is the snow falling or is the snow picking up, man?
So anyway, Investor Day is the reason why. I'm gonna go back to announcing Investor Days for the week ahead of time. I stopped doing it because there was so many of them, and I wasn't sure if y'all cared. And a lot of them are inconsequential, but a lot of them are consequential. So every Monday, I'm gonna start just giving you a preview of what's to come for Investor Days. There are a lot. This is the time of year where there's a lot because we're in between earnings season. So anyway, Snowflake is down to 239 this morning. Let's pull up. Is that a daily?
Yeah, daily right here.
Okay, cool. What jumps out to you besides the steady downtrend?
This huge volume on May 27th. What do we have on news there? Do we have anything on news there? May 27th. You look it up.
Yeah.
I'll keep talking about the chart. So this looks like the classic Gil Morales undercut and rally. You guys have seen him on here on pre-market prep. I give him the shout out because that's who I kind of learned this play even from. And the way he explained it was perfect. A lot of times you get these runs right into kind of the IPO, but then it'll go back down and kind of attack that pricing, get below that. And then you'll see some buyers kind of step up a little bit lower. And then when it comes back towards that level, we want to see a big volume bar kind of step in to show that the drive is really starting. That's kind of what this bar right here shows on that May 27th. That's 17 million shares traded there. So is there any news there, Spencer?
Yeah, they had earnings after hours on the 26th. So
boom.
There you go.
There you go. There's a catalyst. You got a catalyst news. What you want to do is now see some follow through. So what do we see since that day, right? We saw a little sideways action, which is actually a good thing, right? I mean, when you get sideways action after earnings, it's kind of people digesting the earnings, right? Like taking it in, figuring out, okay, so where the levels at, what is the stock really evaluated at? And then now you started seeing the push up there towards 255.99. So look for that number to break out today. So that'd be 256. So look for 256 to break out today. That's what I'll be looking if it can get some volume too, because if you got 17 million shares traded here, on average, I'm seeing about 3 to 4 million shares traded. I would love to see 8 million shares traded today on that breakout.
I just saw this headline come through. McDonald's disclosed a data breach in Asia, I guess in Korea and South Korea and Taiwan. Hackers accessed some customer and employee data, but no ransom was paid. Is that?
I love that. I love that last little bit.
Yeah. So
no ransom.
I guess that's bullish. This is the second hack. We had EA yesterday disclose that they had the source code stolen for some game, and we had McDonald's saying we got hacked. We got hacked as well this morning. So there's 2 hacker headlines in 2 days, man. Bullish cybersecurity.
Yeah, man. This hacker situation is definitely starting to get out of hand. And so for that being said, why don't we I just want to take a quick look. How's CrowdStrike doing? I know this stock has been performing well since the pandemic. I mean, if you look at it since the pandemic, I mean, look at that. Look at that chart. But yeah, looking strong today. Look at that. CRWD, strong candle.
Yep.
Internet security. Let's see if the cyber.
I'm pretty sure that's in the whatever ETF. I don't even remember what ETF I own. Jesus. Oh my God.
Spencer, he owns them all.
Oh, I don't. Wait, hold on a second. I have to look right now because I don't.
Hackers can hack anything these days. I know, man. It's impressive, Jack. I would have to say that too. It's getting out of hand. I mean,
CIBR. That's the one that I own. CIBR.
CIBR.
The First Trust Nasdaq Cybersecurity ETF.
Look at that candle.
There we go.
Very similar candle. So maybe, hey, this is how you find plays sometimes. You know, it was a news that wasn't necessarily these stocks, but maybe these stocks actually move off of it, and McDonald's doesn't.
Maybe, yeah, yeah. I mean, look, the whole my whole thesis was like when I bought it last year was there's going to be a lot more of these headlines, right? So and typically when we saw, I don't know if this is still the case. I guess it's happening this morning, but historically, when you see, every time you saw one of these headlines, oh, big data breach, you know, Sony, whatever, the Capital One, right, whatever. Typically, when that happened, these stocks would all spike, and I thought, well, if there's going to be more of them, then I should just hop on the train. And I guess it's happening here today. So it is 8:27. We're going to have Markus Heitkoetter on in a couple of minutes. What should we do until then? Let's talk about the cruise stocks for just a second here, because
cruising.
Yeah, well, RCL is trading down. I feel like we're back to where we were a year ago now, when these cruise stocks would all trade down every time there was news that somebody got sick. And that is, I think, what's happening here this morning, because there was this headline going around. I guess 2 people on a Royal Caribbean ship that were sharing a room together tested positive for COVID. And so they're still on the ship. And they everybody on board was vaccinated. I guess no, everybody over 16 was vaccinated that was on board, and 2 people tested positive anyway. So that, I think, I suspect is what's hitting RCL here this morning. I didn't look at the other cruise stocks. I know Carnival, yeah, they're all down. I know Carnival also had a headline. They clarified some dates going forward for they're re-entering their summer 2021 schedule. But that's not relevant here. I think what's more relevant is the fact that 2 people got sick on a cruise, and the cruise stocks are all trading down. So is this just a buy the dip opportunity or what?
Well, first I want to give the chat a question. You know, would you go on a cruise? I would love to hear it. Yeah, you know, put a 1 if you would go on a cruise. Put a 2 if you wouldn't. I know Spencer and I are 1. I love my cruises. But another release also on the 9th, Royal Caribbean said that they would charge unvaccinated cruise passengers for tests and different protocols. So it's showing that, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to probably need to be vaccinated to go on these cruises. So that's a good sign, at least. Or, I mean, there's going to be maybe some unvaccinated people, but they're going to be paying up to get on there. So yeah, looks like there's a mix there. I see some 1s and 2s there.
Let me just put it this way. I survived a trip to Nashville where I didn't wear a mask the entire time, and it was just packed everywhere. I think if I survived that, I could easily survive a cruise. And you know, with the vaccine, I feel like Superman, even if that's not the case. I feel like it is. So anyway, cruise stocks are trading down. I'd be inclined to buy this dip personally. We are in the midst of an uptrend across the board in the sector. So I'd be inclined to buy this dip if it were me.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'll keep a watch. All of them are showing signs of weakness right now. NCLH, CCL, RCL, they're all showing at least hourly big red candles. Let's see if they recover today. Yeah, and going into the market.
I want chat's thoughts on this. How are you approaching cruise ships or disease traps? Maybe.
But one of the things that was mentioned to me by a chat member that is usually in our SPACs attack, and Spencer, you can tell me this. What do you think? So he said it best. I mean, the first couple cruises, isn't that going to be the cleanest the ship has been in forever?
It's a good point. It's a great point. You want to be on the first one, right?
Yeah, the first one. That ship is going to be squeaky clean, man.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Really good point. All right, it is 8:30. Let's bring on. I know you guys you've been asking for this guy for days. You've been clamoring. What did Markus do? And I was saying, I don't know. We'll find out on Friday. Well, here he is, Markus Heitkoetter from Rockwell Trading. His camera's not working, but I promise you he's here. Markus, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Great. Yeah. So, I mean, let's talk. If I can share my screen. So I thought this morning we'd talk about Alcoa. The symbol is AA. spend the next 15 minutes here. I'm just kidding. Of course, we're gonna talk about Ride. I mean,
you had me in the
talk
first
about
half.
Alcoa.
You had me in the first half, Marcus. I'm not gonna lie. You had me in the first half.
Alcoa. I was like, steel?
Why not? But by the way, I did sell a put on Alcoa. So I mean, true. So the positions that I'm in right now, just can quickly show you. Yes, so Alcoa, Camping World, LVS, MU. Right, we'll talk about this. X, US Steel, Zillow. So sold puts on all of them, all doing pretty well. But we gotta, of course, talk about Ride, because Ride had this fantastic ride up. So, I mean, if you have never ever listened to the show, which is a huge mistake, and never listened to me, quick recap, 20-second recap. I got into Ride in February. So in February, I sold puts on Ride, got assigned, bought 7,000 shares at 21.50, sold some more puts, bought some more shares, brought my cost basis down to 15.79. And then this week, it is happening. It is happening. It is happening. It is happening. Ride goes all the way up to $15.80. And I know that you're all rooting for me and say, "Oh,
We are, Marcus.
you're making money.
Let's go. We are rooting for you. Yes.
No, I'm still in this thing for two reasons. Okay, so let me tell you. First of all, I wasn't in front of my computer when all of this happened. I'm usually just in front of my computer
there was a
trading.
little key information there.
Please, Marcus.
Yeah, no, I mean, I only trade for the first 30 minutes. I like to trade the open, so between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, that's usually my time. I'm not staring and babysitting my trades all day long, and nobody should, I feel. I mean, I like to live a life, and this is what I do. So the first thing, I wasn't in front of the computer, and in the afternoon, I'm looking at the close, and I see, oh my gosh, they made a high of 15.80, and then they dropped all the way down to $10.80. What the heck is happening here? So, I mean, this is the first reason. The second reason is, as soon as I image position, I'm selling calls. So yes, I did sell the 15.50 calls expiring today. Now, these calls, as the stock jumps up, these calls are obviously underwater. I mean, this is just part of the game. So even though the stocks were at break even here, at this point, the calls were down around $12,000, which is no big deal, because on expiration, you see, today they expire worthless, absolutely worthless. I rolled them down, by the way, to the 15. So this is why I'm still in the trade. So what did Ride do? I mean, they had great momentum going into they were going up. It was going well. And then they filed the report with the SEC. No, is it with the SEC? Yeah, anyhow, the report that they need to file and say, yeah, you know what? As we stated in our earnings call, we need cash. We have right now like 500 million or something like this. But by the end of the year, these 500 million will dwindle down to somewhere around 50 to 75 million. And this is by the end of the year. So you guys all ask us, can we survive for a year? No, we cannot. So if we want to survive for a year, we need more money. So nothing new. However, it looked like, oh my gosh, they're going out of business. And this is where the stock plummeted. Now then, 2 days ago, the highest volume day here, with 56 million shares traded, because there was this rumor we might have an investor. So anybody who is in Ride know that their investor relations is the worst ever. Their communication with the public just plain sucks. So anyhow, this is where they're not communicating. So here is what I think is happening. And I'm not that smart. This is why I wanted to run by you, because you guys usually have all the background information. So I believe they know that they need an investor. In order to get an investor, they needed to file this SEC filing, because any investor would say, dude, if you don't file, they were delinquent on filing this. They had until July 21st, but any investor would say, dude, you gotta file this thing, otherwise you're not getting any money. Okay, so this is done. Now they say, okay, maybe there is an investor coming. And the third thing is, they are still sticking by their story that they will produce in September, and they are still doing this Lordstown week. In fact, yesterday they posted something on Twitter where they said, hey, look at this. We are getting ready. The first Lordstown week is around the corner. We'll go live. And they post a little video here. By the way, I on my YouTube channel, I went on a little rant yesterday, and I do it again. Dear social media manager on Lordstown, if you do have any good news that you would like to tweet, please don't tweet them 30 minutes after the close. Please tweet these things while the markets are open. Anyhow, so this happened after the close. So here's what I'm doing right now. So let me just show you, because Jesus, not only is the camera not working, there we go. So my break even right now is at 14.39. So at this point, I mean, I obviously need to get out of the trade. So I'm selling very aggressively the 14 calls. And let's just jump over there. So I still have a 15 call that is expiring today. So this makes me another $1,000. So that's okay. So this one here, sold it for, I sold it for 10 cents, sold 100. So this makes me $1,000. But let's just see what is happening here on Ride for next week. So for next week, right now, the 14 call is selling for bid ask is 30 over 34. So let's just say 30. So if I sell 100, this would give me another $3,000. $3,000, which brings then my realized gains for Ride. Let me just bring it up here, year to date, from 14,000 and something. Where is it? There. To 17,000, and it lowers my cost basis by another 30 cents. So lowering the cost basis by another 30 cents means that I'm getting closer to 14. And honestly, at this point, I'm ready to exit this with a loss. If I can get out with, let's say, a $20,000 loss, I'm okay. Now, here's the deal. The account that I'm trading is it's a $250,000 cash account, $500,000 in margin. So if we just take the 20,000 based on the cash, so this would be a loss of 8%. Okay, don't like a loss of 8%, but trust me,
this is what I want to know. This is what I want to know right now. How big a portion of your portfolio is this Ride position?
Oh, that's let me show you. It's not a lot. It's not a lot.
Yeah, how much of the buying power is it taking?
Next to nothing. 31,000. It's taking 31,000. Honestly, look at this. All of the other positions that I have. Here's the capital requirements. For Alcoa, it's 41,000. For Camping World, it's 41,000. Here, it's 18,000. 27,000 here, right? It's 31,000. It's not eating up a lot of my buying power. I mean, that is not the challenge. It's just that I'm kind of getting sick and tired of talking about it and having it in my portfolio, to be honest. Yeah, I bet
you are. I bet you are.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, overall, in realized profits, I'm up to $94,000. So probably by the end of the month, I'll have $100,000 in realized profit. So I need to get out of Ride. And even if I'm selling it at 20. So by the way, this right now, because I already collected so much premium, even though it shows here the unrealized loss on the stock is 51,000, since I collected premium, I'm down 37,000. So even 37,000 right now on a $250,000 cash, it's down like 16%. Yes, that's not nice, but trust me, in the beginning of my trading career, I don't know about you, but I actually made trades that dragged my account down by 50%, 60%. So
here's a silver lining. The silver lining, I guess, is you're going to have a lower tax bill this year.
Oh, gosh. I just talked to my CPA because here in Texas, we have to file by next Tuesday. So by next Tuesday, we have to file. And yeah, I'm filing. I just talked to him. I mean, you can buy a really, really, really nice house from the tax bill that I got from last year. So it doesn't matter where I live. It doesn't matter where I live. Even if you live in California, you can buy a nice house from the taxes that I have to pay.
Uncle Sam gets his.
Well, you're going to have a lower one this year, Marcus. Please do us all a favor and please cut this.
Just ride out,
Right.
man.
Well,
Just ride
what
out.
else do you want to talk about then on Fridays? Do you really want to talk about Alcoa? I'll be happy to talk about Alcoa.
I have nothing invested in this, and yet I'm emotionally invested in this now, Marcus.
We're all with you.
And
We're
I
all in
appreciate
it with you.
appreciate it. But please see the bigger picture. See the bigger picture right now. If I would liquidate it right now, it would be for me a 15% loss. That is not the end of my account.
Right.
If I'm getting out with 20,000, that is an 8% loss. I think that, and I mean, this would be the only loss the whole year thus far. So if I'm making $100,000 and if I'm giving back $20,000, of course it sucks, but bigger picture, it's okay. So, and I don't think that they will go bankrupt in the next 2 weeks. So I just need a little pop. We'll see. I think I'm almost certain that by next Friday, I'm out of this one. So let's see.
So next Friday. So that what's that? That's the 18th. So the week after is their Lordstown week, whatever, right? Investors, analysts, customers, if they exist, whatever, right? You want to be out before that happens. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and because I think that this is a kind of buy the rumor, sell the fact. Okay. You see, when they announced the Lordstown week, the stock was jumping up. When they announced a few days ago, hey, we are biting the whole world, we are doing it virtual, the stock jumped up. And we know this. I mean, you talked about, what stock was it about that you talked about earlier? It's buy the rumor, sell the fact. I believe that investors and analysts will be a little bit underwhelmed on what they see during this week. So I do want to be out before this. This was my plan all along. I'm not gambling and hoping that they wow investors there. I think during Lordstown week, the stock will go down.
What I do like is that even though you haven't sold yet, you're not taking the mindset like I should just diamond in hand and eventually I'll get bailed out, because that's probably not going to happen, and that's just not really how it works. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that even though you haven't sold, your mindset is not I'm never selling.
No. I mean, this is where it's really time to get out. So the wild card right now is, will they secure funding? And that is a super wild card. When they secure funding, we have seen what happened 2 days ago, where they went from $9 to $12.80 in a matter of minutes just on rumors. So this is here an almost $4 move on rumors that they might have an investor. So I do believe that they could jump. Are they a long-term a viable company? I don't know. And I have learned more about Lordstown than I ever cared to know, because we talked about it. This is a long-term investment. Why is this a long-term investment? It's a short-term investment gone bad. Every long-term investment is a short-term investment gone bad, right? And I'm done with this. I don't want to have it any longer. And so I'll see. My break even right now is at 1440. I believe that today we will see a little pop. You see pre-market, we are up at 1074. That I can probably make another $3,000 today, around three. I hope maybe $4,000. We shall see, to bring down my break even to 14. But this means that if I want to get out with a $20,000 loss, all I need is this stock to go up to 12. And we are 1074. So does that sound reasonable that they go to 12? I believe that is possible over the next week.
Okay, let's move on. 15 minutes on Lordstown Motors. Tell us about a winner. I'm sure you had a winner or two. Tell us about something else.
Oh, I've tons of winners here right now. So, for example, I have, we're seriously going back to Alcoa. Let me just show you this. I'm just running through them. Yeah. So Alcoa sold the strike price of 35. This is working out really great. As long as they stay about 35 today, this will be a nice winner. Camping World sold the strike price of 37.50. If they stay above 37.50, that's fine. They're up this morning to 40.28. So that's a good one here. LVS, I am still in this one. Bought shares at 58, but I already sold so much in premium. I can show you. I'm down on the shares, but this is just this has been a money maker. So here, let's just go to LVS. So I sold a bunch of premium, $5,300. Right now, I'm kind of down on the shares, but that's only $4,000 in my account size. This is what, like 2% or something like this. So I'm still up. If I would sell them right now, I would still be up and finish this positive. But I'm selling calls against this. I like LVS here. This is really a nice money maker where I can sell calls. What else? MU entered this week, strike price of 77. As long as they stay above 77. Oh, did I forget? Okay, I'll share my screen. We'll be good. So we are trading at 80 this morning, pre-market. Then we talked about, right? Ex-US Steel sold the 2250 put. So we're doing good here. And Zillow, I sold the 104. So all of these positions, it's just money. And so today is the day where all of these options expire worthless, as you can see. So it's ka-ching. So what will happen here going into the market open? I'll look for new opportunities for next week, right? So I need to sell some puts for next week. This way, I can already earn money over the weekend when time decay is kicking in.
Yeah, great point. It's an options expiration day. We didn't mention that yet. It's going to add some volatility to the market, I would presume. So all right. This time next week, we're going to talk about some new positions.
All right. The saga continues. I mean, I'm getting ready to write a book on right.
Hey, you might have to, Marcus, you know what you have to do? You might have to be one of those people that go drive the Lord's sound truck.
Yeah, I want to see you in
the ride truck.
I want to see you
honestly
in Ohio.
Until last week, before they announced this thing that with the SEC filing that they need money, I thought, you know what, it would actually be fun to make $52,000 on this trade, and with this winnings, buy one of these trucks. I thought this would be fun. Right now, it's okay. Abandon ship here. Get off the Royal Caribbean cruise line ship.
Well, it went back to port.
There's buying a truck and there's receiving a truck. This is two very different things.
Truckload either way.
All right, Markus Heitkoetter he joins us every Friday at 8:30 to talk about his trades. Usually there's winners. We all have a stinker every so often. Here's his link. It's up on the screen right now. RockwellTrading.com/Benzinga to hear more from Markus. Link is also in the description of the video. Markus, thank you for the time. Thank you for joining us. And I very, very much look forward to next Friday.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thanks a lot, Markus. All right. There's the link up. I'll leave it up there for a second. RockwellTrading.com/Benzinga. I want to bring up this chart that I saw this morning. This is, I believe, from Bank of America. This is a chart of flights to Hawaii, flights from the mainland U.S. to Hawaii over the last few years. You can see I'd call that an uptrend. That is a big comeback in flights to Hawaii. I was looking at HA. It's come a long way, Hawaiian Airlines. I just saw this chart and I wanted to bring it to your attention because I know I'm not the first person to see this, and obviously the Hawaiian Airlines has been on a bit of a run, but I thought it was interesting and I wanted to share. So that's that.
No, definitely. I mean, it's something definitely to share, and it's a trend that I'm going to continue to see. Not only Hawaii, but let's just continue to see kind of the flight numbers, right, that get released. I want to see that number start increasing as we're going into July. We should definitely see that number increase.
Yep. Ramon's asking, where's Dennis and Joel? Ramon, rewind the show about a half hour. You'll catch Dennis and Joel abandon us. So that's the story on that. But we're having fun. You got Spencer Israel and Money Mitch Hodge here. We just finished with Markus. We're going to have Jason Raznick on in a couple of minutes. He said 8:45, but he lied. That's all right. He'll be on eventually.
Yeah, he'll show up.
He'll show up eventually. Probably. He'll probably show up eventually. That's kind of how we roll here at Benzinga. Mitch, let's talk about for a second. I don't want to spend too long on it, but this ORPH from yesterday, I think, offered a really great lesson in the challenges of trading stocks that have been halted a gajillion times. Okay, so you have the chart. There we go.
Let's go back to where the halts.
Right. So. Here's a chart. You know what? Here, let's just show you here. This is Benzinga Pro. You can look at halts, okay, on Benzinga Pro. We have a feature. We have a tool. It's called Signals. This is the signals tool. You can filter it by different types of signals, by gaps, by price spikes, by options, or by that little yellowish box there, halts and resumptions, okay? And then you can search for individual stocks, as I did for ORPH. So this is from yesterday, okay? That's, and you can see here how many times was ORPH halted on Thursday. The first halt was at 10:50. These are all 5-minute volatility halts. Actually, no, not all of them. Some of them are a little longer. Anyway, how many halts? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at 12:30. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 halts. 23 halts yesterday in this stock. Back to the chart, okay? There it is. Let's pull up a 1-minute chart. And let's zoom out. No, let's go back to 15-minute chart. Okay. This offers a great lesson, I think, in it might seem like fun and easy money to try to trade this thing. It went from, what did it go from? 3 to 80 or whatever in one day. But that can happen. That being stock gets halted at what, 56, right? And opens at what? Opens at 23. And there's nothing you can do about it. When we say it's impossible to control your risk, that's what we mean, right? So I thought that was a great lesson in why these things are really, 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 really hard to play and potentially really, really dangerous. Mitch, I know you've tried to play this stuff in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I've played halts before. I mean, I played short float stocks before. I mean, if you look at the float, the stock has at least from what I'm reading here, 24.5 million in the float. So that's really not that much, guys. Anything under that 30 million can really, really start moving if they start pushing volume into it. And so one of the things with this one is I did hear there was kind of a chat room that was in on this, Spencer, just to give us a little insight. There was a chat room in on this that was pushing up. Okay. So definitely pay attention to that. Always be careful with that because you can always get caught with like some other chat room pumping the stock. You have no idea when they're getting out because you're not in that chat room, and then you can get caught really fast. So one of the things that I would always say about halts, at least in my experience, the first halt is kind of okay to be in. You kind of never know when you're gonna get into that first halt. It just hits. Then you're like, okay. When the stock goes up, usually after that first halt, that's when I usually try to get out because second halts, yes, can usually continue on its way up. But that third halt, and you look at this in the percentages and you could do the data, a lot of times after that third halt, you're going to get a down halted move. Yeah. And a down halted move is really tough to stay in because when the stock actually reopens, all you're getting is the volume on the opposite side. And so with that being said, sometimes you can get stuck and you have to just start slamming the bid trying to get out. And a lot of times you're going to start seeing your orders slip. And then so you'll get a lot of slippage in a stock like this too. And so this is when you really, really need to respect limit orders. You go and throw a market order at this, you're just asking for trouble. Right, Spencer? I mean, you that's how you really get in trouble. A stock like this, you throw a market order. I mean, you can kiss yourself goodbye. You'll end up with a palm face. But definitely, guys, just be careful with stocks like this. I do not mind traders even like looking at stocks like this because if you're a day trader, I mean, you're looking for momentum, but you always have to respect the risk. And one of the things that the question I always ask myself, what's the ultimate risk? For me, let's say if I got in this stock at 40, the ultimate risk is for it to come all the way back down towards 15. And so you got to understand that downside action could happen to you. If you can take that risk, then okay. But a lot of times, if you're going to look at a trade and the positive is maybe 20 points up, but the downside is also 20 points down, that's not a trade at least I want to be a part of, Spencer.
Yeah, super, super dangerous. Only get in these things if you have a really, really good understanding of, limit orders and reading tape. But even that, I would just.
Another thing is if you have access to dark pool information.
Well, I mean, who here has that? I mean,
I'm just giving you how you got to be able to trade these, because a lot of times you're going to see some dark pool orders on these. If you guys don't know what dark pools are, look them up, guys.
All right, and now everyone's crapping on market orders. Market orders have their value. They're not like they have a purpose. I know.
What do you use a market order for?
What would I use a market order for?
Mm-hmm.
Let me think.
Just
let me think. Well, I mean, I've used.
You think they have a purpose?
I've used. Well, not for trading. Not for. All right, let me change that. Amend my statement. Don't use them for trading. But if you're like, you have an idea for like an investment. Let's say you're doing some research over the weekend, and you say, "Oh, I found a stock, whatever. I found an ETF I want to buy, and I want to buy it now." Then at the open, throw in a market order. And if it's an investment, then do you really care? If you're saying I found a new investment that I'm going to hold for a long period, a year, 2 years, whatever, then do you really care about getting the best price, about getting your price? Because that's all right. This is what
I'm a baby.
Wait, this is what happened to me. Okay, I tried to get cute. I wanted to buy ARKW. Right. This is early last year. This is pre-COVID. Okay, I wanted to buy ARKW. And I was like, all right, throwing out my order. I'm going to get my price. Wait for my price. My price never came. 1 week, 2 weeks, a month. I sort of forgot about it.
You missed it.
I never came. And I was like, screw it. Screw it. Market order. Give me now. And it worked because like it had such a huge run after, not that I knew that was going to happen, but like, I don't care what my price was. My price was so I didn't get my best price. I don't care. I don't care. It wasn't about that for me. It wasn't about that. So I'm just saying, if you're trading, yeah, maybe don't use a market order. If you're investing, then they have a purpose. That's all. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, I'm gonna be on the opposite side a little bit. The only time I use a market order is when I need to get out of position. Sometimes if the bids are not happening,
that's awesome.
That's my market out. Sometimes I'll be like, no. If I see negative catalyst and I was in a stock, like let's say like how that ride took a quick move down, right? Those are the type of stocks that I'll just be like, okay, I need to get out. There's a difference. Need and want to get out are two different things, right? Yep. And so I think that's when you can use like maybe a market out. I'd be picking sometimes with my entries, and I understand exactly what you mean, Spencer, when sometimes you're too picky. Next thing you know, you miss the stock rocketing off because you were just trying to get it for 2 cents lower. And really, what were that 2 cents going to do? It was going to be like 0.03% of a return.
Exactly.
And so I kind of understand that mentality. Definitely.
And then I think it's easy. Mike said, if you're in a stock with like a tight spread, 1 cent spread, whatever, then a market order is fine. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The spread matters too.
You're not going to get screwed on a market order in Apple. Right.
Yeah.
You're probably
maybe not a market order in AMC.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Okay, it is 8:59. Jason Raznick.
Where are you at? The Raz alert. We gotta throw it out there. Hey, chat guys, put in the chat. Raz alert. Raz alert.
I'm gonna read you our conversation from this morning. I texted him at 7:30.
We're gonna have a talk with Jason.
Confirming you're good for 8:45. He says, "Yep." So I texted him 5 minutes ago. I go, question mark? And he goes, I thought 9. This is what we deal with.
Hey, OP said it best. I didn't say it.
This is what we deal with. Next person not in the office. I don't
Raz alert, Raz attack. Look at the chat. They're calling for you, Raz. They're calling for you. Where's the Raz? Where's the Raz?
I said 8:45. He goes, yep. And then he goes, I thought 9. So
I thought 9.
Either he didn't read my text or he's just messing with me.
How about we preface the Tesla talk? How about we preface the Tesla
That's a good call. So there was the event last night. Full disclosure, I did not watch it. All I know is that this the Plaid is their high-end model. It's going to cost $131,000. It's got over 1,000 horsepower, got a 17-inch touchscreen, and has a 390-mile range. Tesla's highest-end model. That's all I know. I didn't watch the video.
I'll tell you, I watched some of it. I watched like the first 20 minutes until it got a little bit too in depth, too into the technical aspects. Saw Tesla really point out that their rotors are really what stands out here. They're lighter and performing more power than just about any of the ones out there. We can talk about specific specs. We'll probably do that when we bring Jason Raz on, but definitely, guys, this is interesting to me. I think that rejection of 600 multiple times today, that's all I'm looking at today, guys. 600, my line in the sand on the downside. If this thing starts moving on up, I think we can get a big lift in Tesla. I saw the big lift in Amazon, those bigger stocks. I'm trying to see today if we can get a lift in Tesla and Apple, and that would be a good sign for the overall market. So I'm going to be looking for that. I might even get into some Tesla today. That's how bullish I'm feeling a little bit today.
Wow.
So I might write up Tesla today. I'm going to be watching it, guys. I haven't gotten in yet. I don't trade Tesla often. I think I've traded Tesla once, just ever. And so I'm going to be looking today for a pull down, and I'm going a little closer here, guys, to show you guys. So this is an hourly chart. Whenever I trade high volume or high price stocks, I'm trying to use an hourly to make sure I go off of support, a long-term support, not a short-term support. And so there's two supports here you can go after in my eyes. So it's 608.59 or 60, or kind of this in-between candle where you had this harmony right here. And that's kind of where I'm going to be looking at more. I like me a little bit of a pullback. So I'm going to be looking for a pullback towards 604, 605, maybe look for a little dip buy off of the 600, risk off of that 600. So risking maybe 4 points, 5 points, but I'm going to be looking for us to get past this high, which is 615. I'll be looking for us to get towards a move towards 625. And that would be a 20-point move up for 4-point risk or 5-point risk.
I'm trying to remember. There's Jason. I'm trying to remember. So the Cybertruck was announced on
the Raznick
November 21st, 2019, and I'm trying to remember if Tesla went. I have a chart up on the screen. This is Tesla in November of 2019, and it looks like it didn't really do a whole lot the day after. Just trying to gauge that reaction. That's the daily, so it doesn't tell the whole story. Jason Raznick, good morning.
What's up? I just put that guy's comment live. Someone just took it off. I don't know, Marquise. This is something that Mitch was supposed to do like 6 months ago for $3 a month.
We are doing it.
No, stop.
Jason.
Stop. We're not. You guys 6 months ago were supposed to do it. You didn't do it. So I got someone else to do it. It'll be live within a week and a half, about I guess July 1st. I got it. The guy is working on them.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to leave my hands like this because, I mean, I already set it up, but.
Well, he'll review it. So, so I came late today, Spencer. I came late. I was giving you a taste of your own medicine.
What is that? I don't know what that even means. Wait,
weren't you late yesterday, though, Jason?
Wait. No. When was I late?
You were late yesterday, Jason, for your interview.
I wasn't late.
Wait,
Mitch, what are you talking about, Mitch?
Mitch, hold on. Mitch, I want to hear this.
Yesterday, you messed up, or Aaron Bree, the SPACs attack. My interview with the Raz Report should have been done by 11 o'clock. You guys let it go to like 11:30. We had a big interview on SPACs attack. So it's not so funny when it happens to you, Spencer. Why the heck did you let that go so late? You were working with Aaron Bree on that interview for that, whatever is, Sandy Monroe. You should have had the interview start at 9 or 10 o'clock. You had to go at 10:15. You're the producer of the whole daily thing. This stuff is not happening anymore.
You know, it was a red flag when you called me yesterday at 10:05 and you were still in your car.
Why is that a red flag?
Because the interview was supposed to start at 10:15.
Okay. Spencer, I wanted you to lead this stuff up. Totally, man. I really did. But I walked in the door at 10:08, called Rohan and said, when I walk in, we go live, right? I'm gonna be about 7 minutes early to do mic check. He's like, yep, we go live. I get there. They're not ready to go live till 10:35. I mean, that's just it's unacceptable. And
I agree.
And so you know what I thought yesterday though?
What?
Because you guys know I disagree with a lot of this stuff that Mitch does on YouTube, right? And tries. And so like the Clips channel about not going live for 3 hours, you guys know I disagree with a lot of it, right? I thought this was another Mitch experiment that he wanted to see if we could go live on 2 times at the same time. And I go, okay, it must be another Mitch experiment because I couldn't talk to him because I was doing the interview. I had no headphones on. So I'm like, this is another one of Mitch's crazy experiments. And I'm like, all right, I got pissed for a second at Mitch. And then when I talked to Chris, I'm like, was that what was going on with Mitch again? It's like, I don't think so. But I'm like, who knows with Mitch? And so that's what I thought. But then Chris was able to say it wasn't. It was just that you guys screwed up the timing. And,
Did you see your text message yesterday, Jason?
From Chris?
From me.
No, I got nothing from you.
Look at your phone.
I got nothing from you, dude.
I promise.
I'm not going to waste my time. You can send me a screenshot. But all I'm saying is it was it was really annoying. And so today I was like, you know what? I'm giving Spencer a taste of his own medicine.
I don't know what that has to. I don't know what one thing has to do with the other. But
what you're the one who leads the channel,
it's your. Oh my God. Okay.
I'm just the host. I'm just the host.
Oh my God. Okay, Jason. Okay. I don't want to get into semantics here because I'm going to get really angry, and it's not.
No, there's no semantics. There's no semantics. You know.
Okay, but
I tried, Jason. I tried to give you a heads up.
Mitch, so I didn't see that, but that has nothing to do with me. I'm not the one who says to start or stop. That's Spencer and Aaron Bree. I'm just by the way, I didn't even want our show to be live. I wanted it to be recorded because I wanted to talk with them. I didn't even want it to be live.
What do you think would have happened if I did just end you guys mid-conversation? I think it would have ended horribly. I would have gotten fired. If I just ended your interview with Sandy mid conversation.
No, you guys listen. Let's take this offline because
all right, okay.
This is a big turning point for the channel.
Okay,
and the big turning point because it's just we're not thinking,
okay.
We're not moving fast enough and thinking.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Tesla.
But the best news of all that was that it wasn't one of Mitch's experiments. That's all. I thought it was.
Okay.
At least not off with my head.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So,
tell me, Tesla, are you buying the Plaid or what? What's the deal?
Yeah. So Plaid went up 10,000 in price a week ago. I'm disappointed in the announcement. I said it. So I interviewed Sandy Monroe, the guy who's moved the stock and probably the most important guy when it comes to electric, predictions, prices. He's been the most powerful guy. Sandy Monroe, about 3 years ago, added about $40 billion to Tesla's valuation when he called Tesla the only company to do continuous improvement and move at the speed of thought. So every other company does all this work where they're, planning, but Tesla moves at the speed of thought. So Sandy Monroe, probably the most important guy to Tesla from an outside perspective. My problem with it, and I confronted him on it, is that Tesla used to put the battery, the type of thing on the back, the P performance, and they made a little different variations to these cars. My question to you is, Spencer, what if you got a Plaid? Will someone know you're driving a Plaid?
No.
And if
it came with a Plaid painted coat of paint, then maybe they would, but otherwise they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Unless you saw it go 0 to 60.
Right.
Yeah. So you're exactly right. Mitch, Spencer, I think Tesla is going to have this is going to have some immediate sales because it's an awesome, it's going to, guys, on air. So that I don't know if they know Zinger Nation, but we talk about everything on air. So if you want to hear the Power Hour and you're not there, I know a lot of guys don't know me. Everything that we do behind the scenes, we talk, on air. And Chilled Monkey, I didn't have control over closing the thing. I didn't have my iPhone with me. So, Mitch, you said you sent me a text. I didn't have my iPhone with me. Josh Raznick was there in the room and had my iPhone. So I never knew a text. And you guys, I'm just an on-show host. I don't produce it. But anyways, I don't need to talk about that stuff. Let's talk about the Tesla because haters going to hate. And it's amazing that there's people in here going to hate it because they could go go on their day, but they want to be here and talk. So I appreciate it either way. Hate, love, either way. Appreciate it all. Thank you for coming by. So Tesla, the Plaid, I'm not excited about how they're marketing it. Do I think it's an amazing car, unbelievable car? Absolutely. Is the engineering behind it unbelievable? Yes. The battery is unbelievable. The engine, the motor is unbelievable, and it will sell. Do I think they need to change how they're pitching it and angling it? Absolutely. There's a reason why Mercedes does, high-end cars, the 500S, the 600S, all that stuff. There's a reason why they do that, and it makes a difference. You differentiate. You guys on an airplane, there's first class, there's coach, there's business class, there's bulkhead. There's a reason why. Yes, Mitch, you can be a little more comfortable in first class, but there's like a separation there. This Tesla plaid thing is not that, and it doesn't show that differentiation. So that scares me. The other thing is think about when the Tesla shell, the outside of the car, the Model S has been the same thing since 2014. Since 2014, right? And they haven't changed the outside shell of it. That is awesome from a margin perspective. So Tesla's margins on not changing the outside shell of that car are absolutely amazing, right? But no differentiation, no update, no something, then like that also is bad. So I don't know. I think you're going to see immediate sales at a high price point, but it's people who buy the plaid. They buy it for branding and presence to say, "Hey, I have the plaid." A lot of people do that, and this time they will not be doing that.
Okay, so by and large, you like it, but you're not in love with the overall plan. What it sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with the marketing plan, and I think it's gonna. It's gonna change. I do.
Do you think it was just a focus purely and solely on performance? There was not that much thought process into, like, let's say, the aesthetics of the vehicle.
Well, so remember Battery Day, Mitch?
Mm-hmm.
So Battery Day, they got a battery app on Battery Day, even though the technology is awesome. Tesla isn't good at like the aesthetics part of changing the outside of stuff. They're really good at the engineering, and it's the most important thing. The electronics, the hoses, the carburetor, like all that stuff inside it is 7 years ahead of anyone else. It's 7 years. Now there's some things, guys, that isn't 7 years, but where they are, they're 7 years. It used to be 10 years. It's now 7 years. Mitch, let me just tell you something, okay? So say someone's going to buy you a present, right? Mm-hmm. And someone said Tesla's doing the Porsche strategy, but there's so many different models of Porsche. If someone got you a Tesla Model S 2018 for $40,000 or 2016, okay? So if someone got you that, or they got you a brand new plaid 2021 with whatever, you wouldn't know the difference.
The outside would just be the same.
Outside of the same, everything's the same except for the steering wheel is different, the dash is different, the inside is different. Okay. By the way, I'm saying all this stuff because I'm really long Tesla. In 2014, I told Spencer Israel that there'll be a Tesla in every parking lot that he goes to. And he told, after the show, he said, "Jason, don't say hyperbole on the show. That's never going to happen." And that has happened. So I'm really long Tesla. Okay. I just don't like that there's no, that there's no like some differentiator for a plaid car that's so expensive, Mitch. It's really expensive.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen something that succeed like that.
What's the price tag?
100, and I had to rate
39.
Thank you. 131.
I had this comparable chart here that I wanted to show right quick, Jason. Just look at this. This is like the Lucid versus compared to the plaid.
Mitch, you can call me Jay. It's okay.
Yeah,
because you know how bad it is to work for me, even though you guys don't work for me. Guys, just so you know who are listening.
I don't work. I build.
I'm not the boss. So, but anyways, I appreciate the compliments. Not the compliments, the hate, but they don't work for me. They go build. That's why I thought they were doing an experiment yesterday. If they worked for me, I would never have let that interview go past 11 if they worked for me.
I want to talk here about the power differences here. So Lucid, Porsche, and Tesla I have here. So 0 to 60, credible news yesterday given out, that this is the first production car to go under 2 seconds in 0 to 60. I've been in a car that goes 4.4 seconds in 0 to 60. You guys, if you've never been in an experience of that, I would definitely try that out. because 0 to 60
Wait.
in under 2 seconds.
Wait,
I mean, that's unheard of.
This is a good segue. Jason, tell the people what you're doing tomorrow?
Well, today, Spencer, we're doing it today. You could you could take it for a spin today.
I wasn't invited. No one invited me.
But Spencer, you're invited. You're the boss. I just work for you guys. Okay, so it's in the basement. We have a McLaren 720S. We got a McLaren 720S for the office for a few days. We also
stick shift.
We also have.
I don't think it's a stick shift.
Come on, guys. Come on. No power shifting.
I don't know how to drive a stick shift.
Yeah,
all right. So that's what I'm doing when I go to Detroit. I'm getting a Mustang Shelby stick shift, and we're gonna do a video. Get ready, guys. I'm gonna show these guys how to drive a Mustang.
You know how to drive a stick shift?
Oh, do I know how to drive? You'll see something. I mean, we might get in trouble, but
okay. So it's not a stick shift. It's automatic. Thank God. Jason, tell us more about the McLaren.
So we have a McLaren 720S, and I definitely don't know how to drive a stick, Mitch. Definitely do not know how to drive a stick. And we have the McLaren 720S. It's like a $350,000, $400,000 car. We didn't buy it. We're doing a review for it, test driving it. So we got it for Benzinga today. That's from today until Tuesday. So Spencer, today at 4:30, if you're around, please come outside, or 3:30, and we're gonna do some test driving of it, etc.
Like on public roads. You're gonna drive this on public roads.
We're gonna drive it around the city of Detroit.
And I have to call the mayor or something and tell him to cut off traffic downtown Campus Market, because you're going to be doing. I don't know who's driving this thing besides you. I know a few other people want to drive it, but oh boy,
just pass out some flyers.
If you're in the Detroit area, don't go downtown at 4 o'clock today, because there's going to be a bad man behind you.
I mean, Spencer, I'll be honest. I am nervous driving that car.
I would be nervous too. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
It got paddle shifters though, right? It has some paddle shifters on there.
But I am nervous. The Benzinga Pro guys, are they coming on next, or are you guys going into their time?
They're coming on. Well, they're going to come on whenever they're going to come on with us.
Okay, I just don't like when people go on people's time. So, the car is crazy, Mitch. I wish you were up here to drive it.
I get in trouble, so we'll probably keep that out.
Well, the one issue, Mitch, is we need to drive it with some speed, and I just don't know where to take it to do that. You know.
Oh, dude, don't listen to me. I'll give bad advice. I could give it though.
Take it to like a test track in Dearborn or something. I don't know.
Do they have that, dude?
I don't know.
There's a test track. You have to have a test track or a racetrack nearby, Jason. I would call them up, let them know you want to do a quarter-mile run in it, and they'll let you. You just got to put a helmet on.
Let's find out. Jonathan Mallard, who's waiting here, who grew up in Dearborn, Michigan.
There you go. He knows it.
I just want to, Mallard, I'm going to bring you on for a second.
Wait a second. Wait, a brilliant idea, Spencer. One of your show fans, our fan M, said, Spencer, can you do pre-market close from the McLaren? The answer is, I think he could.
Wait, Mallard, are there test tracks we can go to in Dearborn?
Well, Ford has their own test tracks for internal testing. And so I was literally just thinking this morning how Benzinga should do a promotional event. Like we should do Ford Lightning versus Tesla Cybertruck. And I think that would get some interesting publicity. But maybe if you told Ford, hey, I want to test this car compared to one of your, I don't know, the Ford, what's it called? The Ford GT?
That's not a bad idea.
Wait, hold on. Do you guys know what else we have at the office right now?
I heard something about a Mustang, but I don't
know. We have the Ford something, the loudest engine ever, the Mustang M1. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but Luke has been driving it. He won't
share.
He it's too loud for me, he said. I'm like, dude, there's probably a way you can lower the volume.
Maybe.
You know,
Wait a minute. Actually, Ryan Faloona, who's also hanging out in the background here, and he was a mechanic, right? Weren't you, Ryan? Let's bring Ryan on too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here. You guys are talking about cars and test driving supercars. I'm about to beat the hell out of somebody that I cannot get behind the wheel of that car. I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I am going nuts right now.
Oh, so
Spencer, if you do not do pre-market prep at the close from the McLaren, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed in you. Incredibly disappointed in you.
can I do it? Is there a back seat? There's no back seat, right? I can't like do it. Do I have to sit in the death seat? I don't know.
The death seat. How about just don't die? Just drive the car. Have some fun. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be okay.
No, but in all seriousness, we need a special with Ryan Faloona and Mike Rao behind a Shelby GT.
Okay.
I'm in. Anytime that I can do a special with Mike Rao,
you guys got to see the movie Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I just watched part of it last night, and it's about a Shelby. And I don't get why the Mr. Shelby would give that all to Ford if he didn't win the race. And I don't know if that's what happened. Did he give away Shelby to Ford? I want to get the history on that if that was just TV, but it was awesome. But I'm going to break some news to you guys. We're going to be doing these, and call it a Benzinga perk or call it whatever you want. I don't know. We're gonna be doing these cars weekly. So we're gonna get like a Bugatti, Ferraris, Porsches, Mercedes, and any of you guys can drive them as long as you're willing to sign the agreement. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Wait, I heard that not everyone here was old enough to drive one because of insurance. Is that right?
Yeah, probably. I actually don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I used to know everything here, but I don't know stuff. Like, that's why I was laughing at the show yesterday. I'm just on the show, hosting the show. I'm not one. So you guys produce your show and you host. I don't produce. So I just go on and they tell me when to talk. I talk. That's what I do.
Producer AB is not old enough to drive. He's here next to me. He's not old enough to drive the McLaren.
Spencer, there's probably too much power behind a McLaren for producer AB. He's like, he's too.
He's here.
I know, but
I'm here. I think that we could, maybe I could get like a fake ID that says I'm 27 or something.
No, Jason's right. There's too much power for you. Go away.
All right.
Yeah. So who knows? Anyway, that's the story. McLaren, maybe pre-market close from the McLaren. What do you think?
Well, you're gonna have to ask Mitch about that because I actually can't do the At the Close show today, so I have to catch a flight.
Where are you going?
I have a wedding on. I have a Sunday night wedding. How weird is that?
That is weird.
Wait, hold on. You have a Sunday night wedding, but you have to cancel the thing because you have to.
No, because freaking Spirit, and this is my own fault for flying Spirit in the first place. I was gonna fly out tomorrow, but they moved my flight to today. So
where are you going?
New Jersey.
Who's getting married?
A buddy of mine.
Like best friend? Are you staying up?
What does that mean? Am I staying up? Oh, standing up? No, I'm not standing up.
Is that like a Jewish thing? Like you don't stand up at weddings? Like there's no.
He's not Jewish. I'm not.
I know, but you didn't know what I meant by standing up. That's what.
No. I thought you said staying up. I'm not in the wedding party. It's just a
got it.
Yeah.
All right. Can we just do a couple stocks before I go?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. So AMC, are you guys holding to the moon? What's the story on that? I own some AMC.
I didn't know that.
I actually think this one could go up today.
I wish I had 4 hands so I could give this stock 4 thumbs down.
All right.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you want to do that too loud.
All right.
If I'm going to get blasted, I'm going to get blasted. Bring it on. Let's go.
Ryan Faloona. Ryan Faloona.
Ryan's address is 75. No.
All right. So I'm still long AMC. I'll go with that. Then
what other stock?
And then you guys know FGF and BTN are 2 of my favorites. FGF and BTN. FGF. I mean, I told this FGF it will be over 10 within the next 2 weeks. I still like it. I know I've been wrong. It's not to say that I've been right. I still like it. I'm going to use the tagline 6 and 60. So SIX.
Oh, the Six Flags.
Yep.
Great reopening play.
Except
Yeah, so-
it looks like it's priced in or something. I don't know.
So it's been bad, Mitch. I'm down $1,000. I'm down $3,000 on it, but I'm down 7% on it. But in the options, I'm down 90%. But Six Flags, I have this tag 6 and 60. So I'm saying by mid-August, Six Flags is at 60. It's kind of like what you guys were talking about earlier today with the cruise ships. You know what I mean? Like the cruise ships. And what should you buy them or what have you? I think Six Flags is going to see insane demand, absolutely insane demand. So
what about Fun? Cedar Point.
Yeah, Fun's another one, Spencer. I didn't like the valuation as much on it versus Six Flags, but you can play that too. You're probably safe in my book. But just so we're clear, I've sucked it up. I mean, I'm down on the options of Six Flags. I'm down 90%, and on the stock of it, I'm down like 7%.
Yeah, wasn't Six Flags the one that said they were going to run out of money last year? They didn't. I remember there was some stuff about Six Flags' debt load. I vaguely remember this last summer.
No,
I like this Fun chart.
You do?
Yeah, I actually like the chart.
So I got the wrong one. You're trying to tell me?
I mean, just technicals, man. You gotta. I know that you're always a story and fundamentals guy.
Yep,
just try to get it off of support. Your timing sometimes is just you rush into the trade. That's all it is. But you usually end up in the green.
Okay, and then the other one that I have been buying in size is Caesars CZR.
Yes,
that's a good one. I like that.
And then the one that hasn't really moved yet, guys, and I still think you can get in and be profitable is Win. Put the win in win. WYNN. I want to see everyone put the win in win because you guys are all winners. Zinger Nation are all winners. Even the guys that hate me and be disgusted, you know, I just don't like to see people's shows cut short. It really makes me sad.
All right. Jason Raznick is the founder.
No, you can't cut me off yet. I have to do my signature thing every time I'm on, Mr. Spencer. Don't do it yet.
Signature.
Okay. What's on your head?
I'm waiting for you. Don't worry about it.
Popcorn.
It's my popcorn bucket. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the signature.
I got it. I'm just waiting till quiet. As always, if you're a listener to this show.
All right. That's the fun. Jason Raznick is the founder of
as always, if you like the show and you think you want to see more of us, let E-Trade know. So please do that. And we'll send you swag. We have a lot of swag in the office. If we can put on the camera in the back, if you guys want Benzinga swag, you want anything Benzinga related, we'll send it to you. So email powerhour@benzinga.com. Email Spencer Israel at benzinga.com. Wish him happy birthday. Powerhour@benzinga.com. If you want Benzinga swag, let those brokerages know that you love us or what have you, or don't love us. I don't know. Either way. And I don't know. What do you guys got going next, Faloona and Mallard?
We're going to talk about the open here. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to talk. We're going to trade through the open a little bit. Talk about the open and try to find a trade or two.
You're gonna.
I'm looking at Recon Technology right now. We'll see if we can hold up this. Increasing volume going into the open right now.
I'm looking at AMST. Looks like a possible day trade here off 405 support. I'm also long sends and looking for that for another day trade as well. Long sends calls might trade the equity here at the open.
Oof, Ryan's your guy. If you want to hear a little bit of options.
Wait, why would you?
I myself learned from Ryan.
Wait, why would you trade those calls though, Ryan?
Well, so I already have the calls. I've had the calls for a while based on a sweep that Charlie pegged in chat the other day. Hats off to Charlie, by the way. I've liked this company for a long time. I was early on it and took some lumps. So I bought the calls because I didn't want to tie up too much equity in a swing that I had already lost on. But today, if I day trade this, I have no problem day trading the equity here and then still riding the calls. I bought the calls when I bought 4 calls for July when the stock was $298. So I'm in no rush to get rid of those.
Got it. Okay. All right. And then wait, someone just made a big point on the cruise ships. If 2 people test positive for COVID, it could really ruin the whole cruise. I didn't necessarily think of that. So maybe those RCLs and CCLs are time to get out.
I highly doubt that. I don't think it's an important factor no more. Infections is not the important thing. It's going to be deaths. I think if you hear that from a cruise, then yeah, of course, you're going to start seeing the cruises come on back. But I think if you just hear infection talk, guess what? I don't think they're going to be stressing because they're allowing unvaccinated cruise passengers on for an extra charge.
People going on cruises don't give a shit. Like, they're like, forget this. I'm
Those
getting the hell
people
out
like
of
the
Dodge.
party boat.
Okay, and then wait, one more stock. What about? Give me the 411 Mitchell on PENN.
Oh, the pen. I'm watching these gambling stocks, a bunch of them. Penn, DKNG, RSI, GNOG. The one that I got in recently in sports data is Genie. Jason, I definitely tell you, check that stock today.
Really?
There's a long-term play, maybe IRA account.
Are you trading that right now?
I have it. I have it at 1950, and I'm looking to. I got some more yesterday. Got down to 1926 average.
Give me the
working my
symbol.
average down.
Give me the symbol.
GENI. As Genius Sports. That's the thing behind the thing play.
I like that stock, by the way, Mitch. Good call.
Yeah. Look at this trend line that it keeps holding on the downside. Anytime it pulls down, it kind of holds this down. This bottom line here.
Are you cool with the offering it just did of 22 million shares?
Yeah, the reason why is that HZON, the competitor that was going to get Sports Radar, actually backed out of the deal. Why did they back out of the deal? In my eyes, they backed out of the deal because Genie, it has such a competitive advantage over them that their valuation is actually changing day by day. They can't get the partnerships anymore that they want. Genie is almost grabbing every single deal that's out there for them. They recently grabbed the NCAA during the March Madness. You can see that they have deals going on with every single league. And I just think they have a competitive advantage. And when that competitive advantage starts separating, you can see the stock's price separating also.
All right, I'm putting a limit live on the show right now. Order in at 1950, I guess 1948. Let's see if it executes. You see that? I think it's 1942 is the bid right now. I just put a 1950 bid in. Let's see if it changed.
Yeah, I'm in at 1926 averaged in. I got a 1950, a $19, so I averaged in 1926.
So 1960 is the bid. Is the bid. So I don't know if I just executed. I mean, Mitchell is good. Okay, there's my bid. Look at the bid, Mitchell. 1950 is me. That's me. And the thing, if you pull it up, that's me. Okay. And Chris Kaji likes it. Okay, so I love this. All right, I'm gonna actually, if I don't get executed in the next 4 minutes, I'm gonna I'm gonna go higher. I like it. All
right, I'm gonna get on out of here, guys. You guys have a great open. Wish you guys luck. Looking at solar plays also. One of the ones that I sold too early, Max N. I'm really looking to see if that move can continue.
I'm in. It executed 150 shares. We're in for 150. I have another 150 to execute. So, so I'm in. Okay. All right. I joined you and Chris on the ride. Thank you, Mitchell. All right. Take it away, Mallard and Faloona. And then, oh, wow. Eli's dipping. Do you own Eli, Ryan? You like golf? Do you own Eli?
I do like golf. I don't own Eli, though.
Okay. All right. The ticker, sorry, was Genie, GNI. All right.
Yeah, no, Genie I do like. That used to be DMTK, I believe. I wish Mitch was still here. By the way, live trade here right now in Sens 384 off of 382 support, looking for 398. Stop going to be 376. So we'll keep that posted here. These are the levels that I've outlined on the chart here. I was a little late on my buy. I would have liked to get that at 382. I actually got filled at 384. I'm going to stop here about 377 if this breaks down. Looking for 398 on a quick flip.
All right, looks like it's bouncing right now off of that 378 level from earlier.
Yep. Need about 10 more cents here for this really to pan out here. Got a whole bunch of selling pressure. If we can get through that, I think we pop here. But if we can't, the sellers might actually push that down. So small trade here, basically just looking to take advantage of some of these knee-jerk reactions off the open. Remember, I don't believe institutions are trading in the first 15 minutes. So this is all retail guys that I want to try and trade around. Looks like we're at a wall here at 390. If this falls, that should be good for a pop. Otherwise, we're going back down.
Hey, why is CRIS down 30%?
Spencer, news desk guy, help us out.
Says CRIS.
I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk. Raz keeps muting me. I do know why it's down, but you know,
I haven't muted you once.
It's a biotech failure on the phase 1 out of 2 open label single arm dose escalation, blah blah blah, bad data on some product test, and then it tanked.
It's a phase 1 and 2 trial simultaneous, and it failed.
Yeah. So, and that was tagged with FDA on the news feed. So press release at 7 a.m. and then BC Wire at 7:03.
All right. It's 9:35. We got a featured guest here. Take Ryan's chart off for a second.
No problem. 390 fell, by the way. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
So here we go.
Here we go.
All right, say bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, that was loud. All right, that was a mini Raznick. Anyway, Ryan Faloona, Jonathan Mallard, welcome both of you.
Thank you very much. I'm real close here, right? 4 cents off a possible exit based off the trade plan that I identified here. So we'll see. 394. Let's go. We just need 4 more cents. Buyers look like they're stepping in here. Another big wall here at 395. So we cleared one out at 390. We're trying to clear this one out at 395. Pop to 398. I'm out here. Profits in my pocket.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice.
397. 398.
That would be interesting.
So there you go. So first of all, lots of love going on in the chat. I'm sorry we're in the middle of talking earlier. I couldn't recognize everyone. Kenny, Richard, Mighty, Hadid. Hello. Welcome, all of you. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad we're able to do this. So, all right, awesome. And now we're actually popping over 4. So if you took that Sens trade, congrats. Nice little trade right off the open here. I just want to explain what it is that I'm looking at here since I was pretty focused on what I was doing. One of the common ways that I day trade right off the open, again, institutions aren't trading, so it's going to be a lot of retail traders trading off of technicals. A lot of what I'll do is I'll just identify levels that have recently been put in on that stock, and I'm looking for those to bounce off those levels and then slow down at the resistance levels. So what I did here is I do this every single morning. I load up movers, I go into the gainers here in the pre-market, and then I click through all of these that have any type of volume. So I skip over these ones that are like 150K, but I take a look at all of these that have millions of volume, and then I just mark off different levels based on what the stock has done recently. And then I look to play those levels. So the other one here on my list was AMST. This looks like this played pretty well too. Real quick though, had to be a little bit more nimble. The Sens trade ended up working out a little bit better because it was just a little bit slower and easy to manage. So I waited for this to sell off to 382. When it did, I actually hit buy. I got filled at 384, and then I'm looking to exit here at 398. And so that's what we were able to do. So good stuff. Real easy trade. It's possible that this continues to run more. It's also possible that we set up another day trade for later today. Sens has had a number of volume expansion trades over the past few days. I would not be surprised to see that again. So nice, just kind of a small lot here on a day trade, just because I'm, it's right off the open here. We're doing it live, but not bad. Good way to start the day. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it looks like Archon did push right out of the open there. It's kind of falling down right now. What I'd be looking for is a possible bounce around 1411, somewhere around yesterday's high in the intraday trading, or it could just keep dive bombing. So I would just watch to see if it bounces or not.
Yeah, no, and Jonathan, that's a good point. It actually looks like we're right here. It looks like it did try to bounce off this level. I might have drawn this just a few cents too low here, but we definitely bounced, 40 cents right off this level, and the bounce is still going here. So great job identifying that spot on the chart here. Looks like we are bouncing. How long will this bounce live? Don't know. You can see our chats talking about Archon too. They have traded this in the past, and it looks like they're doing it again today. So. All right, so we did bounce. Looks like we got a 40-cent bounce here. It looks like we're going to retest 1470, 1472 here. Let's see how it goes. One of the things, looking at this Archon trade, Jonathan, one of the things that I'm looking at is that right off the open, the sentiment was definitely buying. If you take a look at these candles, now it looks like the sentiment is to sell this. So if this 1470 breaks down, excuse me, I would absolutely want to see some type of buying step in and kind of hold it there before taking another long trade here. So looks like we are broken beneath 1470. Here we go. This was the plunge down that you were talking about. To your point, though, Jonathan, your trade did work. You did get a 40-cent bounce in there if you were nimble enough to hit that. One of the things about trades like this is that can actually be very difficult if you're not accustomed to trading fast, or if you don't have hotkeys set up or something like that. It could be a little bit difficult to hit moves like this. So I try to trade the easiest ones, but good identification on the chart here, Jonathan.
Yeah, and so Ryan, just for you personally, I know lots of times you wait for it to come back down to wait for a better entry. What determines for you if you ever are going to jump right in at the open on a stock that's surging like that?
That's a great question, Jonathan. If I do, that is rare for me, but if I do that, a lot of the times I'm watching the level 2. I'm watching the order book just to see what kind of demand is there for those stocks. In some cases, like you'll see a big, I like to call it a seller wall. I'm not sure if that's actually the technical term. You'll see a whole bunch of offers on a particular price, and you'll see the level 2 for the buyers build and build and build. And as the price ticks up into that resistance area, as soon as that gets cleared, if I see a big block of sellers being taken out on a stock that looks like it's got some momentum off the open, I'll absolutely try to ride that wave. No guarantee it's going to keep going up, but you can very easily get a 10, 15, 20, even 40-cent pop, depending on how expensive the stock is. So to answer your question, I look at the level 2. I want to see if sellers get cleared out, and I want to see if buyers start to build momentum behind the trade.
And Scott, that's RCON, Recon Technology Limited. RCON is the ticker.
Yeah, and I apologize, guys. Just because I was trading, I actually zoomed out a little bit. Let me try and zoom in a little bit more and see if I can make this a little bit more readable for you. Just give me a sec here to play around with this.
And it looks like it is bouncing here. We'll see if it holds up or not. But the bulls are coming back in.
Yeah, and so this is another important point here, Jonathan. So I know our first trade off that 1470 level was short-lived, but this is exactly why you'd want to keep watching this. Sometimes I develop a plan, it doesn't end up working, I get frustrated, and I put a different ticker on my screen, right? Out of sight, out of mind. And then later on, 5, 10, 15 minutes later, that stock then starts to make a run. Or starts to bounce off of a different level that you have identified. And it's frustrating to miss things like that because you actually had that. So I'm glad that we kind of stuck with this. It looks like it did try to bounce, but we're kind of selling into that bounce. So right now it seems that sellers are in control for me.
Check out APTX. I think this is purely technical, but this chart is just gorgeous.
Where is that? I think this is it. There's a option to turn the ticker on so it's easier to see. Okay, I'm sorry. What was the ticker?
APTX.
APTX. Oh, nice. Okay, so let's see. This actually wasn't even on my radar, but look what happened here. This came right into yesterday's high. Oops, wrong tool. This came right into yesterday's high. Look at that. Came right into yesterday's high and bounced right off that. We're up over 50 cents off that. Great spot, Jonathan. Great spot.
Yeah, too bad I didn't get it like half an hour ago. But.
Yeah, no, but okay, but let's identify. Let's do that though. Let's think about that. It is too bad that you didn't do that, but let's identify what happened here. So number one, this I didn't have the movers flipped over to regular. I was still on the pre-market because we were explaining that trades or the previous trades. I believe this scanner would have hit that. Let me. Oh no, I don't have. Let me see. Just for giggles. Let me see if the scan that we use in here would have caught that.
What's the market cap on this one?
Let's see. Okay, so some of the others from movers that we were talking about here, NOVN. This definitely caught, and this is running here. So okay, let's take a look. Let me get these session breaks back on. All right, so this very similar trade here to what we were talking about, right? So if you're going to mark off some of these levels, you remember I have these marked on my other chart. Remember, all settings and indicators, are saved to the chart. Or saved to the details tool themselves. So because I opened a different one here, let me just very quickly map these out. So this is something very similar to the last trade, right? We popped off the open, we sold back into that resistance area that we've identified by price that happened today. And we've really ripped off that. We've ripped $2+ off of that. So this was actually probably a better trade than my Sens trade. A little bit more alpha potential here. If we go over to the daily chart, let's see if any of these, oh, look at that. Those levels that we identified, these are levels that go all the way back to earlier this year. And they are absolutely still in play. In fact, this this level goes back to July 22nd of the year before. I mean, this is why we look to the left, folks. This is exactly why we look to the left. So big time run here. This looks like this was probably the better of the two trades today.
See, and let's see. I see TAL in the chat.
Take a look.
Let's see. I'm just looking at the 30-minute chart. Looks like this around $30. Back a couple days, that was one of the highs.
Yep, and this was actually the first low yesterday that we actually took out in the afternoon and then regained. So this is definitely a key level here. Let's see how we do off of this. No trades for me. I took my first trade. By the way, update on that trade real quick. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at why we do this and why when we day trade, this is why we don't stick around too long, right? Here, let me go back to the one that had my levels on it. That'll probably be easier. Sense. All right, so this is exactly why we don't overstay our welcome in these day trades. One of the things that people ask me all the time, hey, when you day trade, why do you only take 10, 15 cents? Here's your answer in pictures. Okay, right? We're trying to capitalize off of other traders trading technical levels. So the first thing that we want to do is identify those levels and then jump on board and ride the wave in the right direction. That's what we did here between 382 and 398. Now it pushed above 398, really couldn't hold it. And look at the reversal that we've done now. So we've actually broke beneath the 376 support that we identified. Looks to my eye that at some point we test 352 today. Let's see. I'm glad that I'm working on some profits from the day trade. That's kind of just giving me a little bit of buffer on my on the calls that I have, which I'm still up on.
Awesome. And then we have GRAY Gray.
Let's do it.
Chat as well. It seems like it's below the consolidation area from the pre-market. Just kind of hovering around there.
Yeah, let me try to make this a little bit easier to see. Okay. So what we're in terms of a potential trade here, first of all, we have a potential volume expansion set up here. So I want to identify that in case this comes into play later. The way I'm identifying that, and I'm sorry, I want to zoom in and make this easier to see. There we go. The way I'm identifying that is I'm looking at this top tick on this big volume candle, right? So if any of you guys have followed Sandman before, you're well aware of this strategy. So this 697 level, this is going to be an important level for today. I absolutely, if Gray trades back up to this 697 level and we start seeing volume expand like we see down here with this initial pop, and this 697 level gets taken out, I'm looking to trade this to 711. All right, so I'm looking for about a 14-cent flip or scalp right there if this materializes. Right now, there's no trade for me. We did not come into the 598 level yet. We're kind of in no man's land here in between two different key levels. And now that we have a potential volume expansion setup, I'm probably going to be a little bit more conservative and wait until we actually take this 697 out. Like I said, if we do that on volume, giddy up. I'll be in here for another one.
Awesome. And where did you find that 711 level? Was that just that high
yeah.
from earlier on?
This was a sentiment change. This was a reversal that we saw in the pre-market earlier today. But let's also look to the left, right? Let's continue to look to the left. Looks like this level was actually in play. Oh, that was still the pre-market. All right. So let me keep looking to the left here. It looks like we also had a sentiment change as early as yesterday in the after-hours session at 7-Eleven, right in here. Sorry, I had the other one highlighted. All right. And then if we go to the daily chart, finally, let's take another look at that 7-Eleven level. Oh, look at that. Right before we had this huge candle, we actually looked like we bounced off of 7-Eleven twice, both on March 9th and then also March 23rd or thereabouts. The March 9th bounce was actually a little bit closer to 7 even than it was to 7-Eleven. So it's just, you were just looking at price levels, right? I'm very, very interested in when the direction changes, when that sentiment changes. Why does it change? In some cases, it's because of news, but in other cases, it's because of pure technicals. So someone earlier asked me in the chat, Ryan, do you trade the strat? I don't trade the strat the way the stratters trade it. I read about the strat every single week. I totally understand the different candles and why that analysis is being done. And I incorporate that when I'm actually looking at stocks. For example, if I see a candle, like an inside candle that gets taken out, or then I see a 3, or if I see like a 2-1-3 or something like that, I'll pay attention to that. Absolutely. But I'm a big proponent in, if your strategy is working, don't try to fix it. And that's kind of where I'm at. I had a strategy that was, back and forth that would cause me to lose and gain. And I couldn't really build up consistency. And once I fixed that, I kind of stuck with it. So I'm always into adding tools for my toolbox, but right now, no, I don't trade the strat on its own. But I absolutely use the lessons that I've learned from learning it and incorporate that into my analysis. Update on gray here. We're coming into that 598 level. I'm going to go ahead and pass here. And you can see it broke initially. Let's see if it actually trades back up and holds here. Roblox calls. Charlie shouting out Roblox calls. We've been talking quite a bit about this recently. This stock is hot. It's pretty much immune to pandemic. It's really, really popular. The young kids love it. Calls have been hot. We got more today that Charles is taking on, or is shouting out here.
We'll see about the volume here too. Someone was mentioning NVIDIA in the chat, and it looked like it might be breaking through some very serious highs on the day chart. So we'll see how that materializes throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is a continued breakout. This was another stock that our happy hour crew had been talking about. I think the outlook that we gave on this is the demand for these products is still super, super high. These products are excellent products. So I know that we have, the whole chip shortage thing. The demand is still really high. This company is really, really executing. And now we've kind of broken out here. If we take a look at just kind of like a channel here, we've really kind of broken out of this channel here. So it looks like we're trying to take the next leg up here. I wouldn't chase green candles, but if you're going to day trade this, looks like there's definitely some buy-in interest in this today. So really, really great company. One of the guys that I really, really trust was buying this up at 70 a number of years ago. Pretty awesome stuff. I'm hearing Sens is rebounding. Let's take a look and see. Yes, indeed it is. So we pierced through that 767 level. We went back up to 382, former support, now resistance. We traded back down to 376, held it and bounced. So we're trying to take out 382 here. Doesn't look like we were able to do that. Fight's not over yet. Let's wait and see what happens. Jonathan, if you need me to pull up any ticker, just shout them out and I'll throw it up here in the chart.
Someone's mentioning SOXL. Looks like it's 3 times leveraged semiconductor ETF.
Okay, and so what are we here? So we're about flat on here. Interesting, considering the NVIDIA move that we just took a look at. Let's see. Oops, something. It's official home run bias. I hope you got in yesterday. Okay, interesting. I'm just sorry. I was just reading the chat there. It's interesting that this is flat when NVIDIA is running, but we'll see. This is definitely a nice bounce here. And take a look at this, Jonathan. So if we just in our discussion about levels, if we take a look at yesterday, we definitely had a sentiment change here. Looks like we kind of a corrective move off of this nice little impulsive move midday. And then we kind of held this same level that we bounced off today, right? 38.56 looks to be that level here. I've got a 65 EMA and a 9 EMA. I'm going to turn the 65 EMA off. That was from a discussion that we were having in the happy hour last night.
Yeah, that's a great spot. Just recognizing that reversal
Yep.
from yesterday, and what do you know? It did it again today.
Yep.
And so, just for some of our users that might be newer, you're going through your movers, you're doing your research the night before. You've got like 20 tickers you're looking at, right?
Today I had, I think, 10. But
okay,
yeah,
10.
But yes, 10 to 20 is average. That's correct.
So I think a struggle that a lot of people have is just wondering where to focus their attention, right? Like today, you focused on sends, and you just have to choose sometimes, right? Unless
Absolutely.
Not everybody has 14 monitors or wants 14 monitors.
Yep.
But do you have any other suggestions for users that are just trying to narrow down their focus?
Yeah. Well, that's really it, right? That is my suggestion. Narrow down my focus. So if we take a look back at my movers chart here, I charted. Let's go back to the pre-market. All right. So I basically charted the things that were moving up the most in the pre-market, and then I was using volume as my secondary filter. So I was ignoring things with the small volume. That's why I ignored Archon, although that looked like it produced a pretty nice trade for us. So what I'm doing here basically is I'm just coming up with a list of possible stocks that are going to be in play, and then as we actually get closer to the open, I narrow that down. One of the reasons that I selected Sens today is because I have recent experience with it, so I feel almost as if I have an edge on how that particular name trades. Remember, these stocks have different share structures, different floats, different eyeballs on them. All that stuff is different, so they're all going to trade a little bit different. And I've traded Sens recently as well as in the past. So I kind of just picked it instead of AMST, which was my other one here. And I'm happy that I did, because although we did get a trade in AMST, I feel like this trade would have been more difficult to execute correctly. So there is another example where I day traded Sens earlier, and not today, I believe it was earlier this week. And there was another stock, I think it was Meds. Right. I think it was that same day that Meds went absolutely bananas. And so I thought about it, afterwards, obviously after the fact. Let me go back here and see. Yeah, this was it yesterday. I thought about it after the fact, and I was like, I didn't pick the stock that really, really made a huge move. That's okay. Right? That's okay. I'm not always going to pick the stock that's going to make the biggest move. I'm not always going to hit home runs. That's one of the reasons why I also swing trade. I'll take singles all day on day trades. My Sens trade today was like $200 profit. Happened in 3 minutes. No stress at all. Real easy. Great way to start today. Get green on the screen. That's another thing that I absolutely recommend to newer traders. Don't worry about sizing up and being a hero. Just get some green on the screen. And then build off that and keep adding those profits. So, narrow it down, keep your focus limited. When you're trying to watch too many things at once, you're going to be more apt to make a mistake. I've been doing this for a number of years, and honest to God, I have trouble focusing on more than 2 stocks at like one time if I'm trying to set up a day trade. I have a watch list. I use all those other tools to help me, but it's difficult. This is a difficult job. You want to put all of the factors in your favor as you can. You want to make it as easy as possible. So let me go back to the chart tool here. Let's take a look at some of these other. I had Palantir up here. This is another one. Real hot. Often has a ton of buyers in it. A nice little day trade target. Let's see if we've got. Oh.
CLF is a good volume expansion example. It's kind of over now. But if you look at the volume candles there, I just and then taking out that intraday high, it looks. Someone was asking about that in the chat, and it looks like it was a good opportunity.
Absolutely, this is exactly it, right? So we had a intraday high made. on some buying interest. We traded back down. This is normal price action. You're going to see this on almost every name that you trade, folks. Okay, we come back in here, and then we start to curl back up towards that high. And you can see it. Actually, I've got 1 minute chart selected here. So these candles are all 1 minute long. It took 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. And then once we broke through this level here on volume, look at the size of this volume candle. It's the biggest one of the day. Biggest one of the day. Soon as we break through that, this thing is off to the races. This is volume expansion in a picture right here. Great job identifying this, Jonathan. This is exactly it. You're right. This actually already happened. And now look, your exit was easy here too, Jonathan. You didn't even need a line. You didn't even need a resistance point. As soon as you see this sentiment change here where the buyers have turned to sellers, we confirm that with the volume stick, you're out. You could have been in here, 23.83, out here. Let's be as conservative as possible and say you bottom tick this sell candle, 24.41, right? So 23.82, we got 60 cents here. 60 cents in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. 7, 8 minutes, 60 cents. No problem.
Nice. And it looks like someone's saying, I guess it's 10 a.m., but someone's saying VXRT had an $18 price target upgrade. So I'm looking at the news here on VXRT. And it looks like we also have a call sweep there. So that's interesting. You got the 6:38 a.m. Piper Sandler initiation, and then the call sweep at 9:52 a.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
So nice.
Yeah, no, so, and VXRT, let's take a look at the chart real quick. I know we got to get out of here. Let's take a look at the chart. Look at some of the runs VXRT has made before. I know that this was a lot of coronavirus news, but this is not a stranger to big runs if the volume starts to pour into it. So let's keep it on watch. Oh, and one more thing, you might want to mark these levels off in case we attack these levels in the future. If you draw them on your chart, they'll be there when we actually get there.
In chat, someone said, Ryan, man, you got to do like a trading lesson. This is it.
Yeah, you know what? I get it. I would love to help in any way that I can. But you know what, Spence? I think that Jonathan and I are going to try to do this more and more often. And if you find stuff like this helpful, great. Let's just keep rolling it, keep learning it. If you have any suggestions, we'd love to hear that. And then
I want to add, when you get Benzinga Pro, you're getting what's in the platform, but you're also getting attention from these guys, right? Attention from Ryan. Right. Ryan's in the chat, in the Benzinga Pro chat, all day long, talking to people. There's webinars that they do every day. Mallard, Ryan, that are exclusive to Benzinga Pro subscribers, right? You can only access it if you're in Benzinga Pro. You get what's on the platform and the data, the info, but you also get their time and their attention from these guys, from the guys on our news desk, Brent Slava, etc. So I don't want to undersell that. I can't stress it enough. That's such a big part of the platform. Is you want to talk to Ryan? Talk to Ryan. You can do it. You can do it.
Absolutely. We do it all the time.
Jonathan, you too.
I'm okay. I'm here for the party.
Yeah, you always are. I put the link up, I put the email up on the screen. There it is. You want to learn more, you can go to pro.benzinga.com or just email. The email is right there. It's right. Wait, where's my hand? Right there. Onboarding@benzinga.com. That email goes to these guys, among many other people. They will address your questions. They will answer your questions. They will talk to you and help you out if you need it. But again, onboarding@benzinga.com, pro.benzinga.com, free 2-week trial. No obligations. Check it out. If it's for you, great. If not, it's okay. It's how it goes. All right, Ryan, Jonathan, thank you both. And we got to do this. I think, what do you think? Like every week we should do this, like every Friday?
Yeah, let's try it. Remember, there's not always a trade. You don't always have to trade.
Yeah.
There won't always be one. There was one today. That's great. Let's try it again next week.
Pretty much any day except for Tuesday when we got the all company meeting. So I'm down.
They won't miss us. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Take care. Have a good Friday.
All right. Here's the plan for the rest of the stream here. First of all, there's my Benzinga Pro. So here's what I thought I would do. I've got DocuSign up there. We got SPAC's attack. It's going to start a few minutes early today because yesterday they kind of got a late start. So today they're going to start at like 10:40, 10:45, somewhere in that window. And SPAC's attack has a good guess. They got the CEO of App Harvest, APPH, or the president, excuse me, David Lee is the president of App Harvest. APPH, he'll be on SPACs Attack, and they're going to start that show at at like 10:45. So I thought what we could do for the next 40 or so minutes is just kind of hang out. And I'll hang here with you. I've got Benzinga Pro up. I'll explain what this feature is. Not everyone has access to this feature. I will explain how to get access to this feature. It's actually very simple. And I thought we could just hang out and watch the market together, right? I mean, it's Friday. What else are we gonna do, right? just hang out and watch the market together. So I was watching chat. There was a lot of tickers flying, and let me just show you what's on my radar here. Let's start with, we mentioned the cruise stocks. I saw a few headlines come by that they have all come out and said they are not changing their schedules. Everything is going as planned as far as resumption of sale dates. And so the cruise stocks, you can see Carnival, this is a 1 minute chart. So they are rebounding from the open, right? All still in the red for the session, because that red, that 0.75% loss, that's reflective of yesterday's close, right? So they're up on an open basis, they're down on a close basis, and they're all kind of doing the same thing, right? Carnival, RCL, and CLH. So there's that. So here's this tool on the left, right? This is the new scanner tool. You can see it there. It says it's in beta. All right. If you have Benzinga Pro and you don't have access to this tool yet, let me show you how to get it. All right. What you do is you go to, where's the URL? Where's the URL? There it is. probeta.benzinga.com. It's up on the screen there. probeta.benzinga.com. That's where if you have Pro, you can sign in and you can test out all of our beta tools. We have other beta stuff. We had a beta Squawk. We have a beta scanners tool, beta newsfeed. And that's where you can see this tool. This is the tool that I use the most during the day, right? I've got my movers tool in the pre-market, which everyone has access to this. This is what I use pre-market and after hours to see what's up and what's down. Once the market opens at 9:30, between the hours of 9:30 and 4, I'm over here. I'm in the scanner tool, and I'm still looking at what's up, what's down, mostly from the open. That's what I care about, from the open, not from the close, from yesterday's close, because I had the whole overnight session to worry about that, right? Now I only care about what's going on from the open. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at here, and that's where I can see. Here, let's scroll to the top. That's where I can see via VXRT, right? We just talked about NOVN, right? That's where I can see Sava, right? Someone mentioned Fubo. That's in here as well. Look at BBW today. That's not there. Build a better workshop. That. Someone mentioned Fubo as well. Fubo's having a good day. This is how I see that, right? I don't know how you guys find your ideas. This is how I find my ideas during the day. See what's moving. It's right here. Look at Fubo. Is there a headline on Fubo today? Let's go to a newsfeed. Fubo. No. Interesting. Also, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to turn on the Squawk. Okay. This is probably the feature that we get the most positive feedback about. This is the feature that allows you to not have to stare at your Benzinga Pro all day long. It was, I think, the first, if not one of the first things that we even added to Benzinga Pro way back in like 2012 when the platform first launched. And if you haven't heard the Squawk before, you're about to hear it. It's our guy Charles, who's been literally squawking headlines for like 20 years. And his job, his only job, is to read headlines out loud. All right. Read them for you. So you don't have to read them yourself. You don't have to be watching your Benzinga Pro. You can be watching your charts, doing other things. His job is to read headlines out loud, and he does it throughout the day. We have several squawkers. Charles is our main guy, and he's probably the guy that most people associate with Benzinga Pro, because he's the guy that they hear every day, right? It is probably the feature that gets the most love, and it's the most valuable feature, in my opinion, of Benzinga Pro, again, because it lets you do other things. I'm going to turn it on for a little bit here. I'm not going to keep it on that long. Just to give you like a little bit of a tease of what it sounds like. So I'm going to go to my squawk, and I'm going to turn my squawk equity on. And whenever Charles squawks, we're going to hear it. If you were watching the stream yesterday at 8:30 for the CPI number, you heard Charles squawk it. All right, this is just a little bit of a tease. I don't know when he's going to squawk. There's no schedule. He squawks when there's news, frankly. So he might not squawk for the next hour. That'd be a long time. But we're just going to see. Kenny Guzman, there we go. The TD squawk is garbage compared to this.
Shares of car lots getting a spike in volume.
There's Charles. The guy's a machine, okay? The guy is online. I'm telling you, he's online every day at like 5:30 a.m. And I think his first squawk is probably before 6 a.m. And he goes until like 6, 7 p.m. The guy is a beast, okay? Very few people, I think, more connected than Benzinga Charlie. All right. Exactly. It's faster than the newsfeed. That's exactly right. That's why it's our most loved feature, I think. Or one of. So in the meantime, let's just talk stocks. Let's look at Ride. What did Marcus, that's not Ride. What did Marcus say his break even was? Oh man, look at that move. Wait, let's go to look at that move today. We got over 11. What did Marcus say his break even was? Was it 12 or 14? I don't remember. I should remember, but that was like 2 hours ago. Anyway, what a big move! What a move for Ride. 14, right? 14:39. Thank you. Still a ways away, but wow, very nice first few minutes. Not so nice last 10 minutes. What else are we looking at today? Oh, do you guys see Signet? Is that still moving off earnings? Oh my goodness, guys, it's still moving. Let's pull up a 15-minute chart. Nah, let's pull up a daily chart. Look at Sig. We're still going. Zoom way out on this puppy. Let's go to a weekly. Oh my gosh. We're at a 4-year high, everyone. We're at a 4-year high in Signet Jewelers. Jeez Louise. Christopher says he's the most loved feature. Christopher, you're right. You're right, guys. That's what Marcus said. He would take 12. Soda loss of 12, break even 14. Thank you very much. Zynga's moving. Okay. Yeah. But is it moving in a vacuum, right? What's Oh crap. What's the other big mobile gamer? No, not GMBL. What's the God damn it, I'm blanking. ATVI, EA, okay. Take two I saw was moving earlier. Oh, that was yesterday. All right. Can you look at ORF and explain what happened yesterday? Honestly, you know what I think? This is chat room bullshit. This is chat room.
RCON, Recon shares resume and halted again.
This is the ORF of today, everyone.
At the lows of the day now, $10.47 for Romeo Charlie Oscar November.
All right.
Shares traded as high as $17.50 after the open in RCON.
Again, this is a feature that people pay for. I want to stress that. I'm not going to play this for very long. I just want to give you a taste of what you get when you get Charlie. All right. What happened with ORF? My honest to God take is this is chat room bullshit. This is pump and dump BS. Was there news? No. There and even if there was news, let's just pretend there was news. All right, let's pretend there was news. Was the news big enough to justify a move? What from 5 to 80? 77, whatever. There was no news big enough to justify a move from 5 to 77. I'm sorry. Okay. But in any case, there wasn't news. How many halts did we count? 23 halts, 22 halts yesterday? All right. This is just chat room BS. That's what happened. I saw it being hyped up again today on Twitter. We already had a halt. Does the Squawk use a Bloomberg terminal? I'll be honest, I don't know. I think you're asking what does Charlie use? I don't know what Charlie. I've never been to Charlie's set up his house. I don't know what tools he's using. Okay. I just know that he is probably the thing that people most associate us with on the street because everyone knows Benzinga Charlie. It's also on Thinkorswim. Good point, Psychotropic Trader Thunder. If you're on Thinkorswim, a lot of people hear Charlie through Thinkorswim. If you're on there, you can access Charles. What WTF is with AHT? I don't know. Wait a minute. Is this the one that Jason? Who mentioned this? Was it Jason that mentioned this one? I'm on so many shows all the time that I can never remember who said what. I think this was Jason that mentioned AHT. What's going on today? Check out, see if there's any news. I mean, not like it's a read, right?
UWMC, UWM Holdings, the June $11 call sweep, Uniform Whiskey, Michael Charlie.
All right, so what that means, call sweep just means
Company CEO to appear on Mad Money tonight with Jim Cramer. That's UWMC.
See, now that's some valuable insight right there. Okay, we know executives being on Cramer can move a stock, especially if it's a stock that Cramer likes, and we know he likes these. What Charles just said is a call sweep. Just somebody just swept through the order book and just made a pretty bullish bet via call options on UWMC. That's what that means. Neil went over what yesterday, Tiny Pie? Oh, it was Neil. Thank you. It was AHT. It was Neil. That's right. Couldn't remember who said it. Thank you very much. Neil was the one that talked about AHT. Thank you. I don't know what's up with it today. It's not, well, nothing's up with it today. It's down 4%. Let's zoom out though. Get ourselves some color. Just let's give ourselves some context here. Okay. Let's just compare it to overall real estate. Okay. So real estate's flat today. That's the XLRE ETF in purple. AHT is down. So something's going on. I don't know what though. I'm sorry. Let's check if there's any filings.
RCON, Recon Technologies, dropping to new lows now, 967 after resuming following another circuit breaker halt. $9.67 to low, now down 22% for RCON.
All right, yeah, I remember Neil saying that it was a Zach Morris pick. Guys, I'm skeptical of all these. Okay, of all this stuff. You and I don't know what other people are doing. If someone's pumping up stock, or you don't know when they're selling. Okay. Let's get this off my screen. I'm tired of looking at that. What else can we look at? Oh, you know what I saw earlier? You guys see Snapchat? Look at that move on Snap. Very nice. Ooh. Okay. What is that? A quintuple top? No, we're over that. We're over that level. All right, we're back to where we were in early March. It's trying. It's trying. Look at TSP. Okay. I know there was more stuff in chat I didn't get to. Let me scroll up.
RBLX, Roblox, June 25, 107 calls now on RBLX, Romeo Bravo Lima X-ray.
And I want to stress something about the squawk, and I'll turn it off in a couple of minutes. But during earnings season, right, in the pre-market and the after-hour session, when the headlines are flying a million miles a minute, and there's 30 headlines every second.
Shares of Roblox getting a pop here to the highs. 94.47, seeing full activity today in RBLX.
See, there's the value right there. That's it. There's the value right there. During earnings season, when there's headlines every second, having Charles there to squawk the earnings the numbers as they come out. Dennis says it himself. He says it all the time. Dennis relies on Charles, right? Dennis is doing his own thing in his trading. His trading, it'll be like 4:15. He's doing his own thing. He's got charts up. He's got his trading platform up. He's got the order book. He's looking at all these things. He can't be reading every headline. Having Charles there to do it for you is an immense advantage. I cannot stress it enough. I didn't see Roblox, and Charles just squawked for me. What was one TSP? Too simple. I got distracted. The news today? Up 4%. No. All right. Up back over. Oh, you're saying it's a healthy chart? What was that on the 7th? What was that? What? Wow. Great move. You know, it made its run. Now it's going to take some time, take a breather, consolidate. That's what AMC is doing. I mean, it's not quite the same thing, but you know, it made its run. It's taking a breather, quieting down. Oh, look at the volume on AMC, the daily volume. That's not what you want to see if you're long. That is not what you want to see. Let's see if we can get a day or two of a volume increase in AMC. Until then, don't know. Don't know. Let's catch up on chat. What am I missing? BB? Yeah. Doing the same thing, right? Yeah, I was in BB for a hot second. I learned a lot about myself. Because I was in BB from, I don't remember exactly. It was like 9. It was like 9 to 14 or whatever. Back in January, and I was like freaking. I was like having like night sweats thinking about BlackBerry. It wasn't even that much money, so I learned a lot about myself and how I handle being in big winners or big losers. Check out BEKE, Chinese real estate. Okay, you have my attention. I'm highly skeptical of a great many Chinese stocks, and I say that as somebody that owns CHWY, which is an ETF of just Chinese internet companies. But I don't know anything about this company. You say they're Chinese. Let's look up a little bit more information if we can. BK. Let's see. Market cap $62 billion. Okay. How many shares outstanding? A billion. Okay, I like that. What's our forward PE? 49. All right. What's like the that seems a little high for a REIT. If that's what yeah, they're a REIT. Price to sales of 4 is a little high. All right. Let's go back to the movers tool. What do you like about it? laterally. Oh, Kathy. It's all right. If Kathy's in it, that must mean something. Do you know which fund she owns it in?
mRNA, Moderna, Michael Romeo, November Alpha, Moderna. Swiss government says Moderna submits authorization application to the to Swissmedic for COVID-19 vaccine for young people aged 12 to 17. That's mRNA, Moderna.
Do you know which fund she owns it in? Laterally, because I've got the KW. It's probably not that one. I'm just curious. I don't even know what I own. I own all these ETFs, and I don't remember what's in them. I know when I buy them, and then I forget. ARKF. Okay, I don't own that one. Thought about it. Figured I only need. I did this. I did that like when I was looking at ARK Invest. Over whatever last winter. And I knew I only wanted to buy one. I only needed one, right? It's an actively managed, technology-focused ETF. I've got a bunch of other stuff. I only need one of these things. I don't need to go Kathy crazy. And I settled on the KW. They all more or less trade the same, though. Let's be honest. Caterpillar. Actually, you know what? Oh wow, look at that. I was going to bring up Home Depot. Let's do that after this. Oh wow. It had that huge run. Oh, what's up with Caterpillar? Here's a fun little tool as well, right? Like in this moment, let's say I'm just forgetting, I'm blanking on who Caterpillar's peers are. You can go to the details widget, go to peers, got a whole list right here. No, none of those jump out to me. Wow. What here? Since we're here, what about steel? Steel is still moving. U.S. steel is still moving. How's Cleveland Cliffs? That's a Reddit play. I say Reddit play. I don't mean that it's necessarily a bunch of retail investors pumping it. It may as well could be hedge funds for all we know, right? We have no idea. I want to look at Home Depot. That's not Home Depot. That's Home Depot. And the pop at the yard. So we've already come back. All right, I saw someone. Yeah, Clyde mentioned skills before. Let's go with skills. High flyer. Gave a lot of it back. Just to give ourselves some context here. Okay. So it broke above that resistance in late April. You like to see it. Got a little bit of a head and shoulders going on right now, which yeah, it's a little head and shoulders here. All right. What's up today? Down 1%. So let's just take a look. Like this is how I would look at this, right? I see skills down 1%. Well, I know that skills is a Kathy stock, and it's probably in the ARKK, right? So ARKK is up today. What's tech? I use QQQ as a proxy. Tech is up, right? Skills moving against trend today. That's what that tells me. I don't look at skills like in a vacuum and say, oh, what's going on with skills down 1%? No, I look at skills in the context of the rest of the tech sector and like even other high flyers, right? Like let's look at Teladoc, right? Kind of flat, right? Let's look at Zoom.
Indications on today's IPOs: BZ, Bravo Zulu, Ken, June Limited, priced at $19, indicating now $30.40. TASK, Tango Alpha Sandy Kilo, Taskus, priced at $23, now indicating $26. Tango Alpha Sandy Kilo.
If that's it, I think that's a good note to turn the squawk off on. I think that's it. All right. That was Charles, everyone. Benzinga Charlie. He's our squawker. You can hear him every single day by going to pro.benzinga.com. You can get a free 2-week trial. And if you want more, You can enter the code on the screen, YouTube20. It'll get you 20% off any Benzinga Pro subscription. There's the URL, pro.benzinga.com. Any questions, comments, concerns? Guys like Ryan and Jonathan, who were here before, are all up in that every day. This is what people use to trade for real. Okay, it is 10:30. I mentioned that SPAC's attack is going to start a few minutes early today, so they'll probably start in like 10 minutes. We got a good slate of shows today. We got SPAC's attack at 10:45 or whenever it starts. We got the Power Hour, right? We got Get Technical. We got our Moon or Bust show, which is really fun. If you haven't watched Moon or Bust, it's our show for altcoins. They talk a little bit of Bitcoin, but like not really. That's not the point. The point is to talk about the other 99% of cryptos out there, right? And DeFi. So highly recommend Moon or Bust at 2:00. It's a newer show for us. It's only been on for a couple of weeks. We got Zinger Stock Trivia, our weekly trivia show at 3:00. The At the Close show is going to happen today, not with me and not with Joel, but I think Mitch is going to do that, and he's going to go into I think Mitch is going to do that, and then we're supposed to have. Let me see here. Let me make sure I give you the right schedule before I. Okay, that's what I thought. So at the close, it goes into 4:00. Then we have our Scotch, Stocks, and Sticks show at 4:00. We got Technically Options with Brad Weber at 5, and Money Mitch at 6. That's the plan for the day. Okay, if you haven't already, do me a quick solid. Drop me a like. How many likes we at here? $628. Let's see if we can get to 700 before I hop off. I'm hopping off in like 9 minutes. What are you guys watching? You're still watching ORF? Come on. Let's talk about something else. All right, RNG, please. Yes, RNG. Real stock. Let's do it. Okay. Good day. Don't see any news. Any filings? Always check. No, yeah, the 10th was yesterday. We had a Form 8. 8K. What do we got? No, nothing of interest. Nothing of interest there. Unless I just skipped right over it. I mean, give it another. No. No. Okay. Back to the chart. So consolidated for basically the entire second half of last year, more or less. Had that breakout in the fall. Topped out when everything else topped out, right? Late January, early February. And we've had a couple, and then this is a weekly chart. Let's go to a daily. What do you like or hate about this? Who asked about this? Was that March Madness? What do you like or hate? Yeah, Fred D. Well, I'll go back to Chewy and Play in a second because I know they both had earnings. So I don't know what to make of this ring chart. Honestly, I really don't. It's a real company with a real business. I like that, which you can't say for most. You can't say for some of these stocks that they got a real future. But I mean, we use Ring Central. We like it. Let's go to Chewy. Let's just see how it's reacting. 1 minute. Can't make up its mind. Can't make up its mind. 15-minute chart. Again, mostly good report, right? The numbers were fine. Let me give you the numbers. You can look at them in the news feed, look at them in the calendar. I like the news feed. Get more color there. Numbers were good, but they talked about supply chain problems. Kramer likes it. The EBITDA was huge and the loyalty amazing. So says Jim Kramer. All right. Oops. And then what about play? So we have Chewy. Oh, that's not Dave and Buster's. That's Dave and Buster's. Chewy down, play down. Oh, play gave back its gains. That's interesting. Huh. Tilray. Can we look at Tilray? I don't know. Can we? Yes, we can. I'm long and strong pot, but I'm not strong. I'm not long these stocks. I don't own Tilray. Never have. Never will. I don't own Aurora. Afria. That's who Tilray bought, right? Was Afria. I don't own Kronos or CGC. The problem with a stock like Tilray, well, there's a couple problems. One is these Canadian LPs, right? These Canadian producers of cannabis are like behind the curve in the U.S. and the U.S. is all that really matters. Okay, from a business standpoint, right? So that I don't like that. I get it that they're the largest. Tilray is now the largest cannabis company in the world in terms of revenue. Some metric is revenue or cannabis sold, produced, whatever. They're a big company. I get it, but they're all behind the 8 ball in the U.S. That's the one thing. The other thing is from the stock perspective. I mean, look at the trend. This thing had that crazy day a few years ago. It went from 150. Wait, no, you can't even see that. Oh, yes, you can. Wait a minute. What? This chart is not showing. What's going on here? This chart is not showing the day it went to 300. All right. Unless it is, I just am zoomed in too much. No, because that wasn't it. Anyway, this stock has a lot of overhead supply. I don't like it. Okay, overhead supply means people wanting to sell if it comes higher. I don't like it. I don't like Tilray. Sorry, I never have. I never will. Unless I can get into the U.S., then that changes everything. When weed stocks go federally legal, will every weed stock go parabolic that day? By that day, do you mean the day it gets announced? Maybe. I'm not banking on that so much as I'm banking on like the Safe Banking Act, things that would allow businesses to do business with cannabis companies here in the U.S. Legalization will come, but I'm more so waiting for that first catalyst, which is kind of taking the handcuffs off this industry in the form of the Safe Banking Act, things like that. There's other legislation out there that will hit before legalization that I think will drive the sector up. The problem with the cannabis sector as a whole is like it moves and booms and busts, and it gets way ahead of itself a lot. So even if you're like long-term bullish like I am, like you have to think that it's at least a possibility. Like here's one that I own, right? Here's one that I own. Like Curaleaf just had this huge run, right? Like I bought it last year. I bought it here. So it just had this huge run, right? From 4 to like 18 or whatever. I have to accept the possibility that this run could continue, and that at the moment that we actually get a real headline, it's like a sell the news event. I'm prepared for that. I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm prepared for the possibility that we get a like these stocks have all run so hard. into legalization, into the Safe Banking Act, that when they actually come, everyone's like, oh, sell. So I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm prepared. That concerns me, right? So here, what's MedMed? What MD? Is it MD? No, what's MedMed, guys? Because what I want to show you is the day that it got uplisted, right? MN. Jesus, thank you, MNMD. I can never remember that. MNMD. Jesus Christ. Right. So, like, look at the day it got uplisted. Look at the day it actually literally uplisted to the NASDAQ. That was that day. That was the top. Right. It was a sell the news event. This was the day they announced it. Right. And the day it actually happened, sell the news. So I don't know. I don't know. Okay. It is 10:40. Well, let me make sure that the SPAX guys are good to go. This stream is going to redirect straight to SPAX Attack. You shouldn't have to do anything. Oh, that's weird. Sorry, I just realized that I never optimized my stream for the day. Oops, hope no one noticed that. Anyway. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me here today. Like I said, no At the Close show with me and Joel. You've got Money Mitch on with you for that. So I will. I'm going out. I'm flying out. I won't be in on Monday. Maybe I'll pull a Dennis and just like call in or whatever. But I will not be here on Monday. I will see you all on Tuesday. I hope you all have a good rest of your trading day. And I'll be watching. I'll try not to tune out of the market too much on Monday. I'll be here for the rest of the day, but I don't think I'll be on the stream at all. So again, smash that like. This was fun. I think I might want to do this more, just like hanging out, right? Just casual hangout. You know, just look at pro, look at charts, look at news. I don't really go to the news feed too much. Yeah. I'm just checking on the specs, guys, because I don't want to end until they give me the okay, tell me they're ready. Because then you're just going to watch nothing, and that's boring, right? So anyway, check out our interview yesterday with Sandy Monroe, who is an engineering legend. I'm putting the link in chat right now. Thanks for being a professional. Thank you. There's a link to Jason's conversation with Sandy Monroe. If you're a car guy or gal, highly recommend you check it out. It was a great 1 hour conversation, and we were looking forward to that one for a very, very, very long time. So there's that. Pro.benzinga.com. Subscribe to Benzinga on YouTube, Benzinga Clips, and that'll be it. They say that they're ready. So I'm going to see myself out, play some music. Everyone, good luck in your trades. You don't need luck. You have Benzinga Pro.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very, very, very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too, but you're up there now. You're way up there.
Best investments you can do in your future is actually go and re-educate yourself on credible sites and credible resources like Benzinga. I think you guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo, and just big shout out to you and your community.
So I love about you guys, you know, you just had all your callers in right then. And it's all about the community here at Benzinga.